to our world. A world of dirt, drift, and dodging fate. A world where all of motorsport collides. A world of digging deep, of grit, glory, and bitter defeat. Inhabited by the strong, the fearless, the barely sane. Welcome to our world. Welcome to the world of NOS.
It's hard to contain your excitement when you get something you've really wanted. Like the gold standard in automotive protection, WeatherTech floor liners. With deep sculpted channels and laser measured for total protection in the front, back, and even up the sides.
Dad, you're going viral.
What? WeatherTech me.
So don't be shy, enjoy. Order your premium American-made products at WeatherTech.com.
Welcome back to the broadcast here on FloRacing. It is night number 5 of Indiana Midget Week, the finale of the 20th edition, and we are live from Kokomo Speedway, the baddest bull ring in Indiana, with 29 drivers checking in. If you're just joining us here this evening, whether it's on the broadcast or in the stands. USAC National Midget Event number 87 here at Kokomo puts it 4th all time. It has been 729 days since the last USAC National Midget Event was contested here at Kokomo. Sprint cars on track, helping iron in the racing surface. 32 of those drivers checking in this evening. All going to give way to Dirt Draft Hot Laps here in just a little while. Dirt Draft is the first and only fantasy racing app where you can compete against fans from all over the world by choosing a team of 5 drivers from each USAC event. Based off your driver's results from tonight's event, you're then awarded points that you can use for USAC tickets, broadcasts, merchandise, and much, much more. Download the Dirt Draft app or visit dirtdraft.com and use referral code USAC when signing up to get a free t-shirt. The official fire prevention solution of USAC Racing is Inferno Armor. Created for the motorsports industry, but now used across many applications, Inferno Armor quickly and easily makes fabrics fire retardant and heat resistant. Inferno Armor can be used on any fabric to reduce the spread of fire and effectively block the transmission of conductive and radiant heat. Simply put, it's high-performance fire protection in a convenient spray. Inferno Armor will also present the Fire Move of the Night in all 3 USAC National Divisions throughout the 2024 season, and will award the driver who puts on a fire of a show a complimentary bottle of Inferno Armor. If you want to see a true life testament to how effective the product is, go and look up Chase Randall, driver to Waco, Texas. Driver the 2KS Weekly at Knoxville Raceway, was involved in a, well, called an inferno last night, the car erupting into flames, and he posted pictures of his fire suit that had been treated with Inferno Armor, as well as his own experience with it, and pretty much credited the product with saving his life. So make sure to get on social media and check that out. If you have any doubts as to the effectiveness of Inferno Armor, what he has to say and what he's showing you with the minimal char to his fire suit will make you a believer in that product. So make sure and check that out. Look up Chase Randall when you get a chance on your Facebook or Twitter feed. AMSOIL is the title sponsor of the USAC Sprint Car National Championship. Why choose AMSOIL synthetic lubricants? AMSOIL delivers next-level power, performance, and protection, built in the lab so you can feel it on the road. Run with us. Visit the AMSOIL booth or order from AMSOIL.com. Speaking of the USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship, just about time for the sprint cars to hit the track as the Eastern Storm. Coming up here, we wrap up with the midgets tonight. Tomorrow, it is the drive to Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Grandview kicks everything off on June 11th. Bridgeport following that on June 12th. Big Diamond on June 13th. Williams Grove on June 14th. Port Royal. Then Action Track USA on June 16th. Couple of days off, and then we battle for all that cheddar. Silver Crown back on track. That'll be at Madison International Speedway. If you need another shot of Silver Crown on dirt, we're going to be running a double June 15th at Port Royal. USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Championship, as well as your USAC Silver Crown Champ Car Series, going to be on track there. Of course, you can see the entire lineup of events online at usacracing.com. Make sure to follow on Twitter at USAC Nation, and on Facebook, look for USAC Racing. To keep up with everything happening on track, you can follow along with live timing and scoring with the United States Auto Club and across all 3 national divisions with Race Monitor. Again, Race Monitor is the official live timing app utilized by the United States Auto Club. If you're looking for live timing and scoring for the Kokomo Speedway as well as rosters and lineups, you can find that on My Race Pass. Attention all racing fans, now you can play USAC for cash. On the broadcast, you can scan the QR code as it'll pop up on the screen there to sign up now and claim an exclusive USAC bonus. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to turn your racing passion into real rewards. Scan the QR code there on the broadcast, or if you're sitting in the stands, go to nxtbets.com/playusac to play today. Must be 21 years or older to play, void where prohibited. Currently available across 30 states in the continental U.S., but again, please play responsibly. Once we get through Dirt Draft Hot Laps, that will give way to Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. Honest Abe Roofing, America's reliable roofer, will present the Fast Qualifying Award for all 3 USAC national divisions throughout the 2024 season. Honest Abe has been installing, repairing, and maintaining residential roofs since 2005, and they want to give you the perfect roof to protect your home and keep you comfortable. Honest Abe provides the fastest service in the roofing industry. They're supporting the fastest driver in qualifications. Visit honestaberoofing.com today to schedule your free roof inspection. If you're in the market for a new or used trailer, motor coach, or golf cart, look no further than Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts, one of the nation's premier outlets and located right in the heart of north central Indiana, with the intent to give competitors the transporter they need to get to and from the event safely and dependably. Elliott's knowledgeable and dedicated staff will put you on track, showing you the latest in Featherlight, Intech, United, ATC, Lumitech, Bravo, as well as Mad Jax X Series and Easy Go. Led by Cindy Elliott, whose motorsports roots run deep, stemming from her late husband and USAC champion Tony Elliott, Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts is not the choice, it's the only choice. Contact Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts at elliott'scustomtrailers.com or by phone at 1-800-766-1886. That's Elliott's, the only choice for champions. And here on the Flow broadcast, we're going to go ahead and take another quick break before we come back with hot laps and racing action. Don't go away. We'll be back to the Kokomo Speedway.
It's real and it's sprintacular. It's 2 consecutive nights of USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship racing action at Putnamville, Indiana's Lincoln Park Speedway on July 5th and 6th. The IndianaOpenWheel.com Bill Garner Sprintacular featuring the cream of the crop fighting for 5,000 to win on Friday night and 10,000 big ones in Saturday evening's 40-lap finale. For event info and more, visit LincolnParkSpeedway.com and USACRacing.com. The Bill Garner Sprintacular arrives July 5th and 6th. It's the most sprintacular time of the season.
Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence. Order online at amsoil.com.
We have a Max Pappas Innovations MPI Rookie of the Year, and that's Gavin Miller. Of rookies of this race, of the people who have never run this race until this very day, he is the highest finishing one, Chet.
Welcome to our world. A world of dirt, drift, and dodging fate. A world where all of motorsport collides. A world of digging deep, of grit, glory, and bitter defeat. Inhabited by the strong, the fearless, the barely sane. Welcome to our world. Welcome to the world of NOS.
Go harder, faster, stronger with Rod End Supply. Whether you are running industrial, farming equipment, or a race car, Rod End Supply has the assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products that will help you lead the field in performance. Our superior design means our rod ends last longer and perform better, giving you the edge on the track and saving you money. Contact Rod End Supply or order online today at rodendsupply.com. We don't just sell them, we race them. rodendsupply.com, serving the racing community for over 30 years.
It was in 2005 that we started TrailerAlarms.com, and we started it to help racers, race fans, and more protect their trailers, cars, and equipment. We'd like to invite you to check out our 2-time global award-winning trailer security system. We're American-made and the only trailer security system in the world with more than a 1-year warranty. Just visit TrailerAlarms.com today or contact Lyle for more information.
On the racetrack, rolling his way off turn number 4 out of Columbus, Ohio, the 60. That'll be Trey Osborne. The Industrial Hydraulics Incorporated Jeff Hill Trailer Sales DRC with the Mopar. Also out there, good to have the driver making the trip down from Minnesota, the 78. It's Rob Cahoe Jr., the Rush City, Minnesota native. The Whitman Roofing TCB Speed North Justice Brothers entry, the 63. That's Mad Max Adams out of Loomis, California. The F&F Racing, Z-Max Western Speed Racing FK Indy entry in the 21 tonight. That's Kokomo resident. That's going to be Parker Fredrickson, and we go green. So clock has started. 4 laps around the Kokomo Speedway, also in Group 1. Out of Tipton, Indiana, that'll be Braden Clark. 2B, Jake Swanson out of Anaheim, California with us here. Tom Davies, the veteran out of Elkhart, Indiana, the black 44 in Group 1. This will be heat number 1. Max Frank out of Williamston, Michigan, making his Kokomo debut. Tommy Boy's got the white flag out. So Group 1 complete. This will be heat number 1. So Max Adams, 13.602, quickest in Group 1. Jake Swanson, the 2B, 13.741. Trey Osborne, 13.799. Rob Cahill beyond the pole, the 78, 14.027. Braden Clark in the 4, 14.167. Parker Fredrickson, 14.260. Max Frank, the Michigan racer, 14.271. Tom Davies, 16.736. So that's Group 1 in the books. Group 2, Heat 2, getting ready to roll out of the racetrack. Taking a gander on my race pass. Who's in this one? Down the front straightaway. Making a return after a little bit of some time off. The 31, that is Robert Brown out of Memphis, Tennessee. Slide John Bob. He owns his entry, the HPI FK Indy DRC with an FG3 Chevy. Excited to see this machine back at the Kokomo Speedway. The TER entry back in action out of Marion, Indiana. The 47, it'll be Scotty Weir. The physical medicine consultant, Spinnaker Racing Enterprises, Bookmiller Racing DRC with a Stinsland Chevrolet. Regular here at the Kokomo Speedway the last few years. He hails out of Greenfield, Indiana, the 97. It'll be Austin Nye, the AJ90 Nye Motorsports DRC, Felker Chevrolet. Looking for a little sponsorship help on that entry. Saw this driver make his debut at the SmackDown last year in the red number 1. He hails out of Santa Rosa, California. The 1, that's Nate Schenk. And the Janice Schenk owned Lawson Rock and Oil, Joe Hunt Magneto's Total Image Painting DRC. Bailey Chevrolet, the 44. Good to have the Aussie in the house out of Clyde, Victoria. That's Todd Hobson. The Jason Surdet Racing Drew Fab Electric Works Nero Power DRC one-way Chevy. First night out for the legend, Paul Hazen. Jack Hoyer gets the nod behind the wheel this year, the Frankfort, Indiana youngster. Physical Medicine Consultants, U.S. Automation, Jackson Oil, DRC, Kircher, Chevrolet. $99, Jack James in the house out of Harlan, Indiana. Jack owns his own entry, the Jim's Auto Care, URB Tech Manufacturing, Binnick Enterprises, Maxim. And I believe we are looking for Anton Hernandez out of Arlington, Texas. So he needs to be on the racetrack El Pronto. Tommy Boy looking like $1 million up on the perch here tonight, doing double duty. Don't forget, concession stands are open here. Lots of great food. The legend Brett Bowman in the house here tonight. Make sure you get a Brett Bowman signature cheeseburger down the gullet here this evening. Tommy Boy always recommends the pork chop sandwich. Turn 5 Pub is open for those of legal drinking age. Kokomo Gift Shop's got the brand new Kokomo swag for our friends on the back straightaway. We do have some Kokomo t-shirts back there as well, plus the concession stand, beer stand underneath the bleachers. So waiting on the 5 car. He's a-coming. The Arlington, Texas native, the Baldwin Fox Racing, Fox Paving King Automotive entry. 4 laps around Indiana's baddest bull ring. So we'll go dancing. And green is out. Here we go. Session dos is live. So Group 2 in the books. All right, Group 3 on the racetrack. Got some hitters in this one, including the 06. Young man's been doing a lot of racing here as of late. Second generation speedster. That's Riley Gray out of Greenfield, Indiana. The Gray brothers own Gray Auto, Lucky 7 Technologies, MPI entry. Colin Grissom out of Anderson, Indiana, owns his own entry at Purdue Farms. Day Transportation Burns Concrete. Reigning Little 500 Rookie of the Year. Logan Calderwood making his Kokomo debut. He hails out of Goodyear, Arizona. The Josh Ford Motorsports MP Environmental 6X Management Group entry. Once again, looking for 8 in this one. Logan's been doing a lot of racing here around the Midwest. Of course, it was out of Knoxville. Hall of Fame weekend. Braden Cromwell making the long trip from Lone Jack, Missouri. The Mike Cromwell-owned Anthony Plumbing and Heating, Shriners Hospital for Children, Bullsnot, DRC, Horn Chevrolet, former Rookie of the Year here. Winningest non-wing driver in the country right now, that's going to be the 41, Ricky Lewis out of Camarillo, California. The Stinsland's Motorsports Physical Medicine Consultants, Morris Farms, DRC, Stinsland Chevrolet. Former Gas City Rookie of the Year, Zach Pretorius of the 9Z out of Yorktown, Indiana. Jeff Pretorius owned Oak Motors, Pizza King, Binnick Enterprises. Entry, once again, looking for 8 here in this one. Works his way through 3 and 4. The last time we were here for the sprint cars, well, this man picked up the win. He hails out of Rockland, California. In the 12, it's the Madman Robert Ballou. I believe Robert's got 4 feature wins headed into tonight's activities. Off the top of my head, which is shaky at best. The Ballou Motorsports Suburban Subaru Deaton's Waterfront Service DRC with an Ott Chevrolet. Landon Butler making his non-wing debut. We saw him last year in the Race Saver 305 out of Galveston, Indiana. The Shane Butler owned. Gabby Contracting, Cobb Glass, Crawford Signs. With an old Casey Kane chassis. With a fatback Chevrolet under the hood. So it looks like all 8 have checked in. We're ready to go dancing 4 laps around Kokomo Speedway. Once again, inversion is 4. That's what we're looking for. Tommy Boy says, let's do it. They kick the lights out. So Ricky Lewis Robert Blue. A couple of guys keep an eye on this one. Got some newbies. There we go. Group 3 is great. Group 3 in the books. Ricky Lewis, 13.179. Quickest Robert Blue, second, 13.233 in the 12. Zach Pretorius of the 9Z, 13.346. Braden Cromwell in the 4C. He'll start on the pole heat 3, 13.347. Colin Grissom, fifth quick in the double knot, 13.467. Rylan Gray in the 06, 13.506. Logan Calderwood, 13.713. And Landon Butler, the rookie, 14.097. And then there was one group to go. Fourth and final group getting ready to roll out onto the racetrack here this evening. If I was a betting man, and Jason Seltzer has been known to wager, I'll be a little wall scraping after this group before we go into midget warm-ups. First car out, 16K. Good to have him back. Out of Martinsville, Indiana, that's Andrew Prather in the Night Racing Smith Small Engines, Anything and Specialties, IGC. Magnum Chassis, that build their own cars with the Tranter Chevrolet. The bus driver, Harley Burns, in the house here tonight, 16 out of Brazil, Indiana. The Brett Aero Racing, Youngblood Farms, Timberland Lumber Company, JKR DRC. With a D&J power plant under the hood. Not sure who the D and the J is in that scenario, but nevertheless, another driver making his Kokomo debut here tonight. Got to talk to his dad. They're pretty fired up to be here. Out of Westfield, Indiana, that's Sam Hines in the 71. The Steve Hines owned Edge Rock Development, LTH Financial Service, Hoosier Speed entry. This is a maiden voyage here at Indiana's Baddest Bull Ring. Good to have Aaron Davis back. He took last year off, regrouped, ready to rock. Out of Winfield, Indiana, the Jeff Davis owned TNT Auto Sales, Revin Excavating, JDA Trailers, and the DRC. Ott Chassis. I don't know if anybody's happier than this group to be here. That's the 42AU out of Sydney, New South Wales. Nathan Smee making his Kokomo debut. Gary Rook owns the car. Gary's back spinning wrenches. The Oak Flats Motorcycle Scientism Competition Welding, GRD Chevy. Aussie. Got a whole bunch of them here tonight. Saban Bybin out of Cincinnati, Ohio. The Wedgwood Motorsports Epoxy System International, Glen Farms, Triple X J&D Chevrolet. Andrew Van Dam, another Aussie with us here tonight. He owns his own entry. The Key Industrial, Skeen Speed Sport Plastic for Trucks, Triple X Johnson. 37, Dave Gross with us here tonight. Will not come out, so we'll go dancing with 7. Group 4 in the books. How about Harley Burns, the youngster in the 16, 13.332. Sabin Bybant in the 98, 13.451. Aaron Davis will get on the front row, 13.528. Andrew Prather in the night 16 will be on the pole, 13.601. Sam Hines of the 71, 13.606. Nathan Smee, the Aussie, the 42 AU, the veteran of Midget's, 13.790. Andrew Van Dam, the 12 8US, easy for me to say. Had a big waft of smoke there, as Brian noticed, 14.124. No time for Dave Gross, 37. He'll start shotgun on the field. And sprint car business has been taken care of. Coming up next, the United States Auto Club. The NOS Energy Midgets for their warm-ups. Brian, you ready to go? I know you're pretty fired up to be at the Kokomo Speedway here tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Dirt Draft Hot Lap's going to be coming up here in just a moment. If you have not downloaded the Dirt Draft app, make sure and download that. And you can play along. Dirt Draft, the first and only fantasy racing app where you can compete against fans from all over the world by choosing a team of 5 drivers from each and every USAC national event. Based off your driver's results from tonight's event, you're then awarded points that you can use for USAC tickets, broadcast, merchandise, and much, much more. Download the Dirt Draft app or visit dirtdraft.com. Use the referral code USAC when signing up, and you'll get a free T-shirt. King of the Hill's been going on. We have done announcers against announcers, officials against drivers, and now the drivers have been taking each other on. And Cannon McIntosh moving on. He's going to face Logan Seavey tonight. Cannon, of course, betting on himself. He's got Taylor Reimer, Cale Drake, Michael Pickens, and Steve Buckwalter on the list. And Logan Seavey top of his list. Well, he got the win last night, so might as well bet on himself again. Cale Drake also on his list. Zach Weigel, Michael Pickens, and Ethan Mitchell. So those two drivers going head-to-head. So my race pass, where you can find the sprint car action here tonight. It is Race Monitor, where you can find the United States Auto Club. Race Monitor is where we broadcast all of our live timing and scoring for all 3 national divisions of the United States Auto Club. Quick reminder, anything you see on Race Monitor as well as my race pass is unofficial. Even has it in big yellow letters at the bottom. Unofficial. Of course, if you also want to keep up on everything happening with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. Of course, you can always go to USACRacing.com. That is where all the official news, results, notes, points, and everything will be posted. Speaking of points, USAC Indiana Midget Week points. Dason Pursley sitting atop of the standings coming into tonight. And pretty much doesn't have to do a whole lot to lock it up and be the champion of this week's racing action. Ryan Timms following him, Cannon McIntosh, Justin Grant, Logan Seavey, Jacob Denny, Gavin Miller, Hayden Reinbold, Zach Dahm, and Zach Weigel make it to the top 10. In the USAC NOS Energy Drink National Championship standings, pretty familiar driver at the top of that one. That is, of course, Dason Pursley. Cannon McIntosh chasing him. Ryan Timms currently 3rd. Logan Seavey, Justin Grant, Zach Dahm, Jacob Denny, Gavin Miller, Cale Drake, and Kyle Jones currently making up the national standings. ProSource Passing Master points for the season. Dason Pursley on top of that. However, in terms of the ProSource Passing Master points for the week, well, he's also on top of that one by 1 right now over Justin Grant and Ryan Timms, Cannon McIntosh, Cale Drake, Lance Bennett, Logan Seavey, Kyle Jones, Gavin Miller, and Zach Dahm. Now for Midget Week, that is every time they hit the track, they are earning points towards that ProSource Passing Master standings, and they'll get a nice little cash bonus when everything wraps up here tonight. So Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 1, making its way out to the Speedway. Daniel Whitley stepping behind the wheel of the number 7M out of Ferndale, California. Driving the American Fire Extinguisher, the BLRH Group, Blue Max Pay Precise Racing Products, Speedway Toyota Spike Chassis number 7M. Second time on track this season in USAC National Competition for the California racer. 67K working onto the back straightaway. Different driver behind the wheel that one tonight. He's out of Auckland, New Zealand, driving the TRD IWX Mobile 1 Speedway Link chassis number 67. That is Michael Pickens. Michael Pickens in the number 67K going for a ride tonight with the KKM Curb Agajanian machine. Driver rolling in behind him, that is Drake Edwards. Edwards in the 3P, rolling into turn number 1. Getting a look here at Chase McDermott. Out of Springfield, Illinois, the Woodland Auto Display, Nutrite Berry Growers, One-Way Spike Chassis, MP Environmental, Josh Ford Motorsports, number 8W. Edwards out of Peoria, Arizona, the Avante Windows and Doors, Stanton Spike, Apache Transport, CK Electric, number 3P. On the back straightaway. Here at the flag stand, we've got the 19M, Lil Bundy, Ethan Mitchell. At the Diet CNC Tooling, Mark IV Racing, Bundy Honda Spike Chassis, Millbridge Speedway, the Joyous Seating. Number 19, as the field will begin to wind up, RPMs will increase, and we go to green in Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 1. Daniel Whitley, last time he was on track, was in a John Levesque-owned entry on the short track at the Belleville High Banks. Right now, quickest. Team joked he is the Abacus team driver. Always counting on doing something. And stepping behind the wheel of that Ramco Speed Group, number 7M. Jaden Rogers behind the wheel last night. A little bit of a struggle in the semi-feature event. Ended up via owner points. Took a provisional into the feature event. Got his way up to a top 10 finish. So a nice recovery for the driver of the number 7M last night. But Whitley at a 13.368, quickest in Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 1. Ethan Mitchell, second quick at a 13.485. Aiden Reibel, 13.395. As quick check of the times, 13.285. Michael Pickens. 13.285 for Michael Pickens. Chase McDermott picking up a quick qualifying time this week at a 13.302. Daniel Whitley at a 13.368. Hayden Reibel, 13.395. And Hank Davis, Cornell Racing Stables and Parade at a 13.439. Down trackside to Drake.
Thank you so much, Brian. We talked about Michael Pickens in the pre-race show about going to Keith Kunz Motorsports tonight. Didn't really get much of a chance to talk about how it happened. We documented it last night. His Mount Stout Motorsports 54 NZ had a problem coming to the checkered in his heat race, and that effectively put Michael out for the rest of the night. But in the middle of the night, or I should say just after the feature event, Michael Pickens got a text from Keith Kunz saying, hey, come over to the trailer after the races tonight, and that's when they put the deal together. It got announced at about 3:30 today, so quick turnaround for Michael Pickens to get in this 67K, but he was just beaming with excitement when I talked to him back in the pit area earlier, and so far so good here in Dirt Draft Hot Laps.
You get a call from Keith Kunz Motorsports to get behind the wheel, you're going to be excited. No doubt about that, and Michael Pickens, of course, a former winner here at Kokomo. Adam Taylor, last night's Inferno Armor Fire Move of the Night recipient. At Wheatfield, Indiana, driving the Smoky Speed Shop. Chevy V4 powered spike chassis number 7T. That Chevy V4 is what got him that Fire Move of the Night award as he wheeled it into the feature event through the semi via a victory. So picked up a complimentary bottle of Inferno Armor. About to be in this driver's neck of the woods here with the USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Championship. Behind the wheel of the Midget here tonight, that's Steve Buckwalter at Royersford, Pennsylvania. Driver the Buckwalter Roofing and one engine Elite Chassis VRP Shocks number 25B. Rolling here in the front straightaway. Driver coming to us out of Belpre, Ohio. Driving the Dave Noss Auto Outlet, CB Industries, McCarthy Real Estate, Speedway Toyota Spike Chassis number 89. That is Zach Weigel. Zach Weigel in the number 89. Coming to speed over in turn number 1. Heading to the back straightaway now. This is going to be Zach Dahm at Pocahontas, Illinois. The American Fire Extinguisher, Speedway Toyota King chassis, number 7P. A little bit of smoke off the number 63 machine. First start of the week in Indiana Midget Week competition at San Rafael, California. Driver the F&F Racing Z-Max, FG3 Performance Engine, Stanton SR11 powered, spike chassis. Number 63, that is Frankie Guarini. Frankie Guarini in the number 63. USAC Sprint Car start earlier this season. Circle City, if memory serves me right, is when he was behind the wheel. Last night's feature winner on track, that is Logan Seavey out of Southern California, driver the Indy Fuel AP Driver Development, Prime 47 Drexel Interiors, Abacus Racing, Forcheck Marketing, Dozers, Nuts, and Bolts, number 57. Justin Grant also on track out of Ione, California, driver the NOS Energy Drink Toyota Spike Chassis. EnviroFab RMS Racing, number 2. And Zach Weigel. Quickest now at a 13.194. Pickens at a 13.285. Jason McDermott at a 13.302. Daniel Whitley at a 13.368. And Hayden Reinbold 13.395. 4 groups of hot laps here in Dirt Draft practice sessions. Group number 3 going to begin to make its way out. First driver out to the clay is going to be Lance Bennett out of Aurora, Colorado. Regular competitor with the Rocky Mountain Midget Racing Association. He is the defending champion of that series. In the Simpson, Schoenfeld header, Stanton SR11 powered, spike chassis, Buckeye Welding Supply, Amsoil PXP Raceware number 91. Not a competition last night, back behind the wheel tonight out of Concord, California, driving the Carson Seeger Racing, Esslinger powered, spike chassis, LOK Enterprise number 99K. That is Robert Carson. Robert Carson in the number 99. The Brandon Corporation, Kaiser Wheel Speedway Toyota, Spike Chassis, Clot Synthetic Lubricants, number 40. Out of Morgan Hill, California, that is Blake Brannon. Blake Brannon in the 40. The 71, the driver to Clovis, California, she drives the Yahoo Mobile 1 TRD Peels, Curb Records IWX, Speedway Toyota Link Chassis number 71. That is Jay Davidisian. Jay Davidisian in the 71. Working around to the front straightway out of Kennedale, Texas, in the Realty Connect Stanton SR11X Spike, Smiley's Racing Products, Singular Machine and Tool, Joiner Motorsports number 27X. That is Kyle Jones. Kyle Jones in the number 27. A couple of more drivers set to make their way out to the Speedway. Peering onto the back straightway to Locust Grove, Oklahoma, the PristineAuction.com, NOS Energy Drink, Speedway Toyota, Spike Chassis, Toyota Racing Development, CB Industries, number 86. That is Dason Pursley. Dason Pursley in the number 86. And driver coming to us out of Colleyville, Texas, going to make his way onto the Speedway. In the Second Opinion Auto SR11, Spike Chassis, Pulse Racing Innovations. MPD IPC Mike Dickerson, number 18N. That is Weston Gorham. Weston Gorham in the 18N. Holder of 2 engineering degrees from Oklahoma State University, Aerospace and Mechanical Engineering. Quick check of the times. Dason Pursley quickest at a 13.083 second lap. Zach Weigel, his teammate, second quick at a 13.194. Michael Pickens back to third at a 13.285. Chase McDermott, 13.302. Jade Evadissian, fifth quick now at a 13.337. Daniel Whitley at a 13.368. Be sixth quick. Hayden Reinbold, 13.395. Justin Grant, 13.432. Hank Davis, 13.439 seconds. And Logan Seavey, 13.477. Final flight of drivers on track here in Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Jake Andriotti out of Castro Valley, California, driver the Acro Seal. Stanton DRC chassis number 14 on track. Rolling through turns 1 and 2. That is Ryan Timms out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, the JBL IWX Mobile One Curb Record Speedway Total Link chassis number 67. Rolling onto the back straightaway, we find Jacob Denny. Denny out of Galloway, Ohio, in the Trent Shoring Rodella Fabrication Ed Pink Link chassis. Tom Malloy owned number 25. And rolling in behind him, that will be 97K of Kel Drake at Collinsville, Oklahoma, driver the Eibach Toyota, KKM Give Back Classic Speedway Toyota, Link chassis number 97K. The 17A, that is Tom Dunkel out of Manatee, California, the Inland Rig number 17. The other 97 on track, that is Gavin Miller out of Allentown, Pennsylvania, the Sound Gear Toyota Racing Development, Speedway Toyota Powered Link chassis, KKM Kerback at Janie number 97. The 25K, she is from Bixby, Oklahoma. The Buzzball Speedway Total Link chassis, Curb Records, Mobile One, number 25K. That is Taylor Reimer. And the 71K, that is Cannon McIntosh out of Bixby, Oklahoma. The Gear Wrench TRD Mobile One, number 71. Field will begin to increase RPMs. We go to green here in Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 4. Couple of people checking in, watching tonight's broadcast. I'd say Tara Easom has got a good groove going. It's actually his better half, though. Easom taking on the American Sprint Car Series National Tour for the first time in his career. Picked up a win earlier this year at Red Dirt Raceway. And Dason Pursley going to remain quickest in your Dirt Draft Hot Laps at a 13.083 second lap. USAC National Midget track record here at Kokomo Speedway established in 2019 by Dylan Welch at a 12.665, 94.655 average miles per hour. So Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. Set to make its way out to the Speedway next. Only driver that has been quick qualifier twice so far this season. Dason Pursley, Lincoln Park, and at Tri-State last night. Both times your quick qualifier. Justin Grant did so at Belleville, along with Ethan Mitchell, Logan Seavey at Sweet Springs. And Chase McDermott earlier this week at Bloomington. Picking up a quick qualifying time, along with Zach Weigel at Lawrenceburg. So here we go. First driver going to make their way out to the clay. Set the mark in Honest Abe Roofing qualifying. Second midget start of the season for the driver out of Ferndale, California, driving the American Fire Extinguishers, Blue Max Pay, Precise Racing Products, Speedway Toyota Spike Chassis, Ramco Speaker number 7M. This is Daniel Whitley. Daniel Whitley in the number 7M last time on track. Was at the short track at the Belleville High Banks. Comes around lap number 1 with a 13.531 second lap. 13.531 seconds normally on the crew for Abacus Racing. Spinning wrenches, scraping mud, and anything else in between as he'll make his way off of turn number 4. Checker flag will drop on him, and he will set the mark with his opening lap at a 13.531, 13.635 on lap number 2. Second driver to take time. Jumping behind the wheel of a KKM Kurabagajanian-owned machine, the TRD IWX Mobile One Speedway Total Link chassis number 67K. This is Michael Pickens. Michael Pickens out of Auckland, New Zealand. On the clock, quick time, lap number 1 to 13.506, 135.06 seconds for the 10-time New Zealand Midget Racing champion. Works off a turn number 4. Does he improve on lap number 2? He does. 13.379, quick time for Michael Pickens. Chase McDermott on track into Springfield, Illinois. Quick qualifier at Bloomington this week in the Woodland Auto Display. One-way powered Spike Chassis, MP Environmental Inland Rigging number 8W. Driving for Josh Ford Motorsports. Comes around lap number 1, a 13.583, 135.83 seconds. Third quick right now for Chase McDermott. Works his way off of turn number 4. Hammers down to the checkered flag. We'll see if he improves on his second lap. He does not. 13.617. Lap number 1, 13.583. Third quick right now for the Illinois racer. Hayden Reinbold at speed at Gilbert, Arizona, driving the AME Electrical, Indy Race Parts, Stanton SR11X, Spike Chassis, Reinbold Underwood Motorsports, number 19 AZ. 15th last night at Tri-State. Comes around lap number 1, a 13.913, fourth quick right now. Picked up his first career USAC National Midget Top 5 finish at the Berg to start off Indiana Midget Week. He was also the first recipient of the Inferno Armor Fire Move of the Night Award. Comes around lap number 2. Better on time, not position, 13.606, fourth quick for Hayden Reinbold. Taking time now, the driver to Peoria, Arizona, the Avanti Windows and Doors, Beaver Stripes, Apache Transport, CK Electric, Stanton SR11X, Spike Chassis, Pettit Performance Racer number 3P. This is Drake Edwards. Drake Edwards in the 3P, flies the front end at turn number 3. Tries to leave the left front at home here on his opening lap at 13.940, 13940 seconds, fifth quick right now. For the driver that crossed 20th last night at Tri-State was 17th at Bloomington. Currently third in standings in the Avanti Windows and Doors USAC Western State Midget standings. Comes around lap number 2. Better on time, not position. 13.816, 13.816 seconds for Drake Edwards. Team has been chasing gremlins on this thing. See if they get it sorted out here tonight out of Sand Springs, Oklahoma. He pilots the Belling Racing Equipment, Evans Custom Lettering, Signs of Life Graphics, Cornell Racing Stables, number 8. This is Hank Davis. Hank Davis on lap number 1, a 13.920 second lap. 25th place last night at Bloomington. Lincoln Park was 16th in the semi-feature event. Problem starting in Lawrenceburg. Ended up out early in that one. Comes around lap number 2. Better second quick for Hank Davis. 13.508, 13508 seconds. So far, looks like they have got that thing humming here tonight. Ethan Mitchell on the track now at Mooresville, North Carolina. The Dyad CNC Tooling, Mark IV Racing, the joy of seating. Bunny Honda Spike Chassis, Ethan Mitchell on number 19M. This is Little Bundy, Ethan Mitchell. Coming up on 100 career starts in USAC National Midget Competition. Comes around lap number 1, 6 quick at a 13.770, 1:37.70 seconds. 24th place finish last night at Tri-State. Best finish on the week at Bloomington, crossed 8th. Comes around lap number 2, better, 3rd quick at a 13.524, 1:35.24 seconds for Ethan Mitchell. Going to victory lane last night in Hopstad. He's out of Southern California, driven the Indy Fuel, AP Driver Development, Prime 47, Drexel Interiors, Indy Custom Stone, MPV Express, Dozers, Nuts and Bolts, Abacus Racing number 57. This is a Logan Seavey. Seavey, lap number 1, 2nd quick, 13.444, 13.444 seconds to the driver with 18 career USAC National Midget victories. The 2-time Midget Week champion going to work up a turn number 4. Better. Quick time for Logan Seavey. 13.318 seconds. 13.318 for Logan Seavey. Out of Pocahontas, Illinois, the American Fire Extinguishers, Blue Max Pay, Precise Racing Products, Ramco Speed Group, Speedway Toyota, King Chassis number 7P. This is Zach Dahm. Zach Dahm in the 7P on track. Lap number 1 for him, going to be 8th quick at a 13.706, 1:37.06 seconds. 1 career win in Indiana Midget Week competition. Finished 9th last night at Tri-State, 7th at Bloomington. His best finish so far this week comes around lap number 2. A little bit slower, 14.207, a 13.706. Lap number 1, 8th quick for Zach Dahm. Last night of Midget Week, going to be his first start of the week out of San Rafael, California. Driver the F&F Racing, Stanton SR11, Spike Chassis, Z-Max, FG3 Performance Racing engine number 63. This is Frankie Guarini. Frankie Guarini in the number 63. One of the drivers pulling double duty here tonight. Lap number 1 for him, a 13.90. 10th quick for Guarini in 13.900 seconds for the Californian. Leans her over hard to the right side off of turn number 4. Improves 1 more position. 9th quick at a 13.759. Again, 13.759 seconds for Frankie Guarini. 9th quick so far. On the track now, the NOS Energy Drink, EnviroFab, MPV Express, Toyota Spike Chassis, RMS Racing number 2. The driver out of Ione, California. This is Justin Grant. Justin Grant in the 2. Comes around lap number 1, 6 quick at a 13.562. Again, 13.562 seconds for Justin Grant. 2022, he finished 3rd here at Kokomo. Was 4th last night at Tri-State. Best finish on the week, Bloomington, a runner-up. Comes around lap number 2. Same time, 13.562 seconds. You can't say he's not consistent. 6 quick for Justin Grant. Driver on track now comes to us out of Royersford, Pennsylvania. Driver the Buckwalter Roofing, Royalton Recycling, VRP Shocks, A1 Racing Engine, Elite Chassis number 25B. This is Steve Buckwalter, 12th quick on lap number 1 at 13.832 second lap. 17th last night at Tri-State. First feature of the week he has made. Semi-feature finishes before that. 6th at Bloomington, 15th at Lincoln Park. Comes around lap number 2. 10th quick at a 13.727, 1:37.27 seconds for Buckwalter. Quick during hot laps. We'll see if it translates over into qualifying. At Belpre, Ohio, driver of the CB Industries, McCarthy Real Estate, Dave Noss Auto Outlet, Speedway Toyota, Spike Chassis number 89. This is Zach Weigel. Zach Weigel in the 89. 4th quick, lap number 1, 13.517, 1:35.17 seconds. 5th place finish last night at Tri-State. First attempt at Midget Week. Quick qualifier at Lawrenceburg. Comes around lap number 2. Better. 3rd quick at a 13.477, 1:34.77 seconds. She's got a very unique sound with that Chevy V4, the Spike Chassis, Smoky Speed Shop, Jonesbury Racing, Excel Automotive, Taylor Racing number 17. This is Adam Taylor. Adam Taylor in the 7T, 14th quick on lap number 1 at a 14.061 second lap, 14.061, 19th last night at Tri-State. Received the Inferno Armor Fire move of the night by racing his way in via a semi-feature win into the feature. Comes around lap number 2, a little bit better, 14.009, 14.009 seconds for the 7T. 15th driver to take time here tonight out of Morgan Hill, California. Driver the Kaiser Will, Speedway Toyota, Spike Chassis, Brandon Corporation, Western Speed, Clot Synthetic Lubricants. Number 40, this is Blake Brannon. Blake Brannon in the 40. Comes around lap number 1, 14th quick at a 13.920 second lap. Former champion of the Focus Midget Series. 5th in the B feature at Bloomington, as well as Lincoln Park this week. Comes around at lap at number 2. Be a little bit slower, 14.030, so 14th quick. Lap number 1 at a 13.920. Absent for competition last night, but back at it here tonight at Concord, California. Driver the Carson Seeger Racing, S-Slinger, Spike, Backwoods MC, MPD, RPG, LOK Enterprises, number 99K. This is Robert Carson. Robert Carson and the number 99, 16 quick at a 15.095. 14th in the semi-feature at Lincoln Park, 9th in the semi at Bloomington. Third race of the week for the driver of the number 99K. That powder blue special going to work off a turn at number 4. And a little bit better, 15.032, still 16th out of 16 so far for the driver of the number 99. Defending champion of the Rocky Mountain Midget Racing Association and the Cappy Mason Racing, Buckeye Welding Supply, AMSOIL, PXP Raceworks, Schoenfeld Simpson, SR11 Powered, Spike Chassis number 91. This is Lance Bennett out of Aurora, Colorado. Bennett coming around. He'll have a 14.193 second lap, putting him 16th quick right now. Making the cut and feature events twice this week. Lawrenceburg finished 16th, at Bloomington finished 20th. Comes around lap number 2 a little bit slower, 14.548 to 14.193 on lap number 1, putting him 16th fastest. This car normally on the Extreme Outlaw Midget Trail. Unfortunately, a flip earlier this week, sidelining the primary car for USAC competition. Out of Clovis, California, driver the Mobile 1, Yahoo TRD Peel, Speedway Total Link chassis number 71. This is Jade Evadissian. Jade Evadissian in the 71 is 7th quick on lap number 1 at a 13.560, 13560 seconds. 2022 here at Kokomo, finished 18th in the feature event. Lap number 2, a little bit slower, 13.687. 13.560, lap number 1, 7th quick for Jade Evadissian. On track now at Kennedale, Texas, driver the Realty Connecting, the Machine and Tool, Smiley's Racing Products, Stanton R11X, Spike Chassis. Joiner Motorsports number 27X, this is Kyle Jones. Kyle Jones in the 27, 14th quick and lap number 1, a 13.789 second lap. USAC as well as ASCS Elite Non-Wing Racing experience across several other divisions as well throughout the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Brings it around on lap number 2, better to 11th quick at a 13.659, 13659 seconds for Kyle Jones. The Engineer on track at Colleyville, Texas, over the Second Opinion Auto SR11 Spike Chassis, Pulse Racing Innovations, Mike Dickerson owned, MPD IPC number 18N. This is Weston Gorham. Weston Gorham in the 18N comes around lap number 1 with a 14.278. Started his career in non-wing sprint car racing down around the Dallas-Fort Worth area with the ASCS Elite Non-Wing Series presented by Abilene Powder Coating. Only a few times a year he gets behind the wheel of a midget. Comes around lap number 2. Betters his position by 1 to 18th quick at a 14.018, 14.018 seconds. Driver on track now, looking for his 3rd quick qualifying time of the week. He has 9 overall wins on the season at Locust Grove, Oklahoma, the PristineAuction.com, NOS Energy, CB Industries number 86. This is Dason Pursley. Dason Pursley in the 86, 11th quick at lap number 1, 13.626 seconds. Runner-up at Lawrenceburg, 3rd at Lincoln Park, a win at Bloomington, 3rd last night at Tri-State. And he leads Indiana midweek points coming into the final round of competition. Comes around and a little bit slower on lap number 2. Lap number 1, a 13.626. Lap number 2 is a 13.657, 11th quick for Dason Pursley. Start on the front row last night. He's at Castro Valley, California, driving the Acro Seal, Borner Welding, Lucky 7 Technologies, Stanton DRC Chassis, 4 King Racing number 14. This is Jake Andriotti. Jake Andriotti in the 14, 18th quick on lap number 1 at a 13.937. Ended up with a 14th place finish last night at Tri-State. Started off the week in Lawrenceburg with a 22nd. Best finish overall this week, Bloomington. Ran inside of the top 10. Came around to lap number 2. Was better, 13.793. 16th quick for Jake Andriotti. She comes to you out of Bixby, Oklahoma. The Buzzball Speedway Total Link Chassis Mobile 1. Toyota Curb Records KKM Curb Agagenia number 25K. This is Taylor Reimer. Taylor Reimer in the number 25K, 18 quick, and lap number 1, 13.863, 138.63 seconds. In competition here during 2022, finished 10th in the feature event. Look out for the wheel standover in turns 3 and 4. And better, lap number 2, 13.837, 18th quick for Taylor Reimer. Cale Drake going to be the 24th car to hit the Speedway, again 29, drawing in tonight out of Collinsville, Oklahoma, the Eibach Toyota KKM Give Back Classic. Speedway Total Link chassis number 97K. This is Cale Drake. He's 22nd quick on lap number 1, 14.063 seconds. Best finish so far this week, 8th place at Lincoln Park. Finished 16th last night at Tri-State. Comes around lap number 2. Better, 13.673. Jumps to 13th quick for Cale Drake. Out of Galloway, Ohio, the Trent Shoring at Pink-powered Link chassis, Rodillo Fabrication, FK Rod is Tom Loyo, number 25. This is Jacob Denny. Jacob Denny in the number 25. Finished second here in 2022. He's 14th quick on lap number 1, 13.70, 137.00 seconds. Comes around lap number 2. Does he improve? He does. 10th quick at a 13.606, 136.06 seconds for Jacob Denny. Down into the final handful of drivers left to qualify here tonight. On track now out of Allentown, Pennsylvania, the Sound Gear Toyota Racing Development, Mobile One Curb Records, Eibach Speedway Total Link chassis, Curb Agajania number 97. This is Gavin Miller. Gavin Miller in the number 97 comes around lap number 1. He will be 24th quick at a 14.021 second lap, 14.021. 7th last night at Tri-State, an improvement over 2023 where he crossed 10th. Picked up a win at Bloomington Speedway in 2023. This year he was 5th. Comes around lap number 2, better, 13.843, 21st quick for Gavin Miller. Taking time now at Bixby, Oklahoma, driving the gear wrench, TRD Mobile One Curb Record, Speedway Total Link chassis number 71K. This is Cannon McIntosh. Cannon McIntosh in the number 71K, 17th quick on lap number 1 at 13.742 second lap, 13.742 seconds. Got the win here in 2022 during Indiana Midweek competition. Comes around lap number 2. A little bit slower, 14.046 seconds, a 13.742. Lap number 1, 17th quick for Cannon McIntosh. Out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, the JBL IWX Mobile One Curb Records KKM Curb Agajanian Link chassis number 67. This is Ryan Timms. Ryan Timms going to go 22nd quick on lap number 1, 13.842 seconds, 138.42 seconds. Picked up the win at Lawrenceburg to start off Indiana Midweek. 2nd at Lincoln Park, 11th at Bloomington. Finished 12th last night at Tri-State. Comes around 12th quick, lap number 2, 13.613, 136.13 seconds. Big jump for Ryan Timms to 12th quick overall. Out of Manistee, California, the Inland Rigging. Knuckle Farms, Osborne Speed and Machine, Josh Ford Motorsports, one-way powered spike chassis number 17A. This is Tom Dunkel. Tom Dunkel in the number 17A. 14.845 will be his attempt on lap number 1. 29th driver to take time. He will be the final one to make his way out here to the Kokomo Speedway. Swings are wide off of turn number 4. Does he improve on lap number 2? He does not. 15.175. So that'll put him 28th quick on the grid. Checking the top 5 here. Ethan Mitchell, your 5th fastest qualifier tonight. Hank Davis crossing in 4th. Zach Weigel 3rd quick. Michael Pickens 2nd. And tonight's quick qualifier, ladies and gentlemen, comes to you out of Sutter, California. He pilots the Indy Fuel, AP Driver Development, Prime 47, Drexel Interiors, MPV Express, Abacus Racing number 57. Race fans, give him a hand, Logan Seavey. 17th time in his career he has been the top of the board in Honest Abe Roofing qualifying with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship, and his second time here at Kokomo. So a little bit of moisture going to be applied down to the racing surface. They'll go to work before we go into opening ceremonies and heat race competition here tonight. And we have got him here on the fan side of the fence. He's going to go ahead and chill down there. Might have to run a Sharpie down to see if he can sign some autographs. Ladies and gentlemen, he's going to be catching up with Christy here in just a moment. Tonight's quick qualifier.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and get some things started down here as we get into opening ceremonies. First, we're going to talk to your Honest Abe Roofing Fast Qualifier for the finale of Indiana Midget Week, and no better way to do it than at Kokomo Speedway, a place where you have an AMSOIL USAC National Sprint Car win. What kind of breath of confidence did it breathe into you today to pick up that win at Tri-State Speedway last night?
Oh, a lot. You know, my guys are working hard to get better everywhere, and we knew this is a track we thought we'd be good at. We've never been here because it keeps raining out for the last few years, but yeah, never been here together, but we knew our car would be really good here, and the then, yeah, you come off a win at a place like Hofstadt where we ran okay last year, but we knew we had to get better. And they've been so good about, places that we struggle with or don't really, run up front one night. They put our stuff back together and make some changes, and it seems like every time we make changes to our car, we come back way better. And to go to Hofstadt and win is a pretty big testament to that. So, we kind of went back to our old normal notes here and unloaded fairly well, and then went out there and went quick time. So, happy with our car right now and the way things are going. Wish this week overall would have went a little bit better for us, but we're just going to come out here and keep plugging away and keep trying to win races and close that gap that we made here earlier in the week. But for now, I'm right back. I feel like we were last year, where anytime I get in, I feel like I have a chance to win, and that's a really good feeling.
Talk about last year. We're going to go ahead and take a moment here to recognize Logan Seavey and Abacus Racing for their USAC NOS Energy Drink National Championship in 2023. Last year, nearly an impeccable spotless year for you and your team across the board. 2 out of 2 championships in 2023, and obviously with the Midgets, had such a good year, and even coming off last night's win at Tri-State Speedway, a couple wins this year already. Today's Honest Abe Roofing Fast Qualifying Award. Is it just so hard to top 2023?
Yeah, it's going to be really hard to beat, but I feel like we're off to a good start. Obviously, like we said, I kind of had a few bad nights already, but my car's going really good. Obviously, we have a new sprint car team put together, and that's going incredible. So, we're just, like I said, we're just plugging away, and I feel like every time we race, we get a little bit better with each car. And last year with the way our midget season went, it's going to be really hard to beat. But we've got notes now, and we've got notes at places that we struggled at last year that we think we can be a lot better at. So, like I said, so far they've done that so well, and that makes me confident about going back to those places. In the past, maybe you suck somewhere and then you don't want to go back because it's a place you struggle at. But I feel like these guys get so much better every time we unload that I'm excited to go back to the places that we struggled at, because it seems to be places now that we're having success. So. Anytime I get to race this Abacus 57, I'm excited, and cool to have the fuel on board this week, like we talked about last night. So they're super excited. Cool to get them in victory lane, and they got a big season coming up. So lots of cool things going on with this Abacus team, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
And as the Abacus Racing team approaches, we talk about the longer you spend with the team in general, statistically, the better things get and the faster we go and the more races we win. And now that you've been with Abacus for a couple years and you guys have built kind of an empire and been pretty unstoppable, how has that changed your career since your KKM era?
Yeah, it's big. Like you said, you get in the KKM cars and you're expected to win. And we did win a lot of races with Keith and their crew, and they did a lot for me. And then, eventually that you have to move on and do your own thing. And struggled for a few years on my own, kind of. And, it feels good to kind of get my feet back in the ground and start winning races consistently again and run up front consistently and feel like I'm back to being a name with USAC and all around here. All these fans are awesome, and I feel like now I'm getting recognized a lot more people are talking to me, and it's fun to walk around and meet everybody and talk to everybody. So it's cool to just be out here and be racing, and like I said, you never really know how everything's going to go, and I feel like I'm finally pretty planted in the ground here and feel like I'm having a decent couple years, and that certainly helps. So, I don't know. I feel like, we're just really getting going. Like you said, it's only been, a little over a year now, and we've got a heck of a lot of wins for our first, year and a half or so together. So, I'm just excited for the future and keep building on what we've been doing.
Logan Seavey and Abacus Racing, undeniably a force to be reckoned with across USAC competition. We're going to present Logan Seavey's championship ring by race director Kirk Spridgen. Going to give those away. It's a long time coming. December was a long time ago. So Logan Seavey, last night's winner of night number 4 of Indiana Midget Week. Today's Honest Abe Roofing Fast Qualifier. He and his team Abacus Racing, last year's 2023 USAC NOS Energy Drink National Midget Champions. They also picked up a Silver Crown Championship last year. So I'm going to have a word with Brent Cox. Before we do that, help me wish Logan Seavey a happy birthday, please. Thank you. And Brent, the man behind Abacus Racing, really got things going in the last couple of years. 2 for 2 on championships last year, which isn't too bad. Is that kind of what inspired you to put together a sprint car team this year?
It was. Actually, when I met with Logan originally, I said, well, let's do midgets in 23 and let's go sprint car racing in 24. And obviously 23 went really well, and 24 so far so good. So we're real happy.
And Brent, obviously Abacus Racing, a ton of success early, and to pick a driver like Logan Seavey, what are some of the characteristics about Logan that make him the driver that you're just going to keep committing to?
Well, he'll never give up on a night, just like this team never gives up on a night. And so Logan is always really good at telling us like what the car needs, and his passion, his drive. Last night he proved it. Hobstadt was a track that, to his own admission, was not one of his best tracks. And to see what he did last night was incredible. And that just shows what driver and team can do on a night-by-night basis to win and contend for championships.
You got 2 rings now. You're searching for a third as we head into Eastern Storm next week, and your schedule just keeps getting busier and busier every year. What do you make so far of the full-blown USAC National Tour?
Well, I mean, it's a grind, and these guys from Johnny, who can't be here tonight, and Johnny, you're in our hearts. Wish you were here, but he had obligations back home. Kirk, T-Bone, Daniel Whitley's been a huge help to us. When you look at what it takes to do this, it's hard. And it's 20 races, and then we also do the pavement midget here. 21 races in June. It's really hard, but this team just rallies together every night to get it done, which is awesome.
It's a never-give-up attitude for Logan Seavey, Brent Cox, Abacus Racing, your 2023 USAC Knowledge Drink National Midget Champions. Picked up the win last night at Tri-State Speedway and headed in all the right directions. Momentarily, we're going to get started with opening ceremonies here at Kokomo Speedway. I'm going to pass this over to Rob Goodman.
All right, just about that time. It's been a minute since we've been here. First and foremost, welcome everybody to the Kokomo Speedway. So happy to see you here on a beautiful Sunday night. It's been too long. What about my backstretch rowdies? You guys happy to be at Indiana's basketball ring tonight? I'd say that's a firm yes. So just about ready to kick some things off here before we go with opening ceremonies and before Kendra sings the national anthem. So I want to talk a little bit about some people that we lost in our racing community here over the last couple of weeks. If you have not heard, if you're not sure, we lost our 2000 sprint car track champion, Tony Jarrett, after a valiant fight. And we also lost our friend Jerry Gappens recently, unexpectedly. So they're pillars of our racing community, but more importantly, they're friends to a lot of us. So we are here with a little bit of a heavy heart here tonight. Before I kick things over to Dave, we're going to give a moment of silence to 2 awesome guys and their awesome family as well. Thank you very much. Down here, one of my favorite people in the whole world, Mr. Dave Cochran from Checkered Flag Racing Ministries. And Dave, the good Lord has finally blessed us with a beautiful day here to let us convene and do what we love to do, and that's race here. And before we do that here, let's turn to him for a moment of prayer.
Absolutely, Rob. Let's pray. Father God, we thank you for the beautiful weather that you've given us. We thank you for each one that's here on this property. God, we thank you that we were blessed to know Tony Jarrett and Jerry Gappens. God, they were a great part of our lives. I just pray that you'll continue to be with their families, Lord. Strengthen them. God, help them to realize that the racing family is still here for them. God, just bless us with a good night tonight. Help us to keep safe. Help each one that's here to enjoy what they see. Each one of the drivers enjoy what they're doing. God, just bless us again. We give you praise in Jesus' precious and holy name. Amen.
Thank you, Dave. Please remain standing as Miss Kendra will sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
As always, race fans, she's one of the best. How about it for Miss Kendra? All right, so this is the first of a big 2-day show here. So I'm just curious, do we have any of our friends that stopped by from the Eldora Speedway this weekend here tonight? Anybody checking in here, night number 1? Of course, the late models will be here on tomorrow night. How about the back straightaway? A little show of hands if you guys came over from Eldora, ready for perfect. So just before we get ready to go racing here tonight, guys are strapped back in the car, but here's the question. Front straightaway, are you ready to go racing tonight? Make some noise. Not too shabby. How about my rowdies on the back straightaway? You ready to get the elbows up in Indiana's baddest bull ring? Beautiful. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. Sprint car heats will be up in just a moment. And as you can see, race fans, drivers rolling out of the speedway, the first of 4 8-lap heats 8-lap heats here tonight. Top 4 go directly to the A main. Top 2 will redraw against each other. So winners will pick the first 2 rows. Second place finishers will go rows 3 and 4, and everything else will be straight up. 1B main tonight, 12 laps the distance. Will take top 4 for our 25-lap main event here this evening. So looking for 8 cars here in heat number uno. Scheduled to go on the pole. This young man picked up his first career sprint car feature win a couple weeks ago over at the Lima Land Speedway. He hails out of Tipton, Indiana. He'll drive the 4. That's Braden Clark. The John and Cheryl Long G&G Race Fuels Serrano Wunderlich Landscaping entry. Alongside of him, the driver of the 78 making the long trip down from Rush City, Minnesota. That'll be Rob Cahoe Jr. in the Whitman Roofing TCB Speed North Justice Brothers entry. Row 2, a regular on the AMSOIL USAC National Sprint Tour looking for his first career Kokomo win tonight. He hails out of Anaheim, California. He'll drive the 2B, the Honest Abe Roofing Binnick Enterprises entry of Jake Swanson. Quickest qualifier here in group number 1. Fellow left coast driver. He hails out of Loomis, California. That'll be the 63 of Max Adams, the Z-Max Western Speed Racing FK Indy entry. Row number 3, starting 5th. He hails out of Columbus, Ohio. He'll drive the 6T. It'll be Trey Osborne in the Industrial Hydraulics Incorporated Jeff Hill Trailer Sales entry. And alongside of him from right here in Kokomo, Indiana, the driver of the 21 tonight, the Cody Williams design Buckner Paint and Body Fast Fine Solutions, the Briar Schroeder entry. That is Parker Fredrickson. Final row, the veteran. He hails out of Elkhart, Indiana. The Engelmeyer Mechanical 44, that's Tom Davies. And alongside him, driver making his Kokomo debut out of Williamston, Michigan, the 25. That'll be Max Frank. The Studio Shop High Speed Tie Century Roll entry. So looking for 8 cars, 8 laps, top 4 directly to the A main. Top 2 go to the redraw. Looks like we might buzz the track here for just a second after a little Liquid Love by Reese and Rowdy. We'll wind them up, blow it off, put the elbows up, and go racing at Indiana's Spanish Bull Ring. So yellow flag, a pop out, racetrack has been deemed ready to rip. So we'll stack them up 2 by 2, let them go for 8 laps here. The first heat race of the 2024 campaign here at Kokomo Speedway. Once again, scheduled to go on the pole, Braden Clark of the 4, Rob Cahoe Jr. the 78, the 2B, that'll be Jake Swanson, Max Adams the 63, 6T, Trey Osborne, Parker Fredrickson on the 21, Tom Davies, Max Frank. Make up your final row. So taking one final look, lineup looks good. C. Mark Orr at the white Ute tire there off turn number 4, front rows. Got to be side by side. Problems for Tom Davies. Looks like he's going to duck down to the infield, so he'll be regulated to the B main. And then there was 7. So we'll go dancing 7 cars, 8 laps, top 4 to go to the A main. Lights are out. Clark and Cahoe. Indiana, Minnesota, your front row. 8 quick ones around. Throttle's getting picked up. Green flag in the air. We're off and racing to Kokomo. Field will tiptoe through 1 and 2 on the brake for the first time. Everybody looks for a little room to operate. Meanwhile, up front, young Mr. Clark looking to lead a lap here at Kokomo. Here comes Cahoe calling on the outside. That'll open the door for the 2B, Jake Swanson. Swanson quickly to that second place of that Binnick Enterprises entry. Good battle for that second spot. In fact, top 3 right there. Wheel to wheels will work lap number 2. It's the young man out of Tipton, Indiana, continues to show the way. Max Adams, the former Gas City track champion, right now sits in that 4th and final transfer spot. Everybody else on the outside looking in. Jake Swanson says, I got things to do and places to go. New leader here in heat number 1, the 2B to the point. So Swanson getting some laps before they head out to Pennsylvania. Part of the Eastern Storm so far, so good. He'll lead them by halfway, 4 to the books, 4 to go. And it is a hornet's nest, 2nd, 3rd, 4th back. Here comes Trey Osborne. Oh my. Parker Fredrickson trying to sneak it into the show. Look at Fredrickson. Getting that Schroeder 21, tiptoeing around the top side. 360 cubic inches underneath the hood of the 21. Does not have the big 410. Right now, no problem. So you go 3 wide for the 3rd spot. Schroeder 21 with Fredrickson behind the wheel. Impressive. Up to the 3rd spot. Meanwhile, white flag. 1 lap to go for the 2B. Clark under attack now. Things get a little spicy for the final transfer spot. Osborne will get it in 1 and 2. Up front, it's going to be all Jake Swanson. Max Adams goes to the redraw. 3rd spot, it's going to be Parker Fredrickson. Trey Osborne gets the final transfer spot. And then it's going to be Braden Clark, Rob Cahoe, Max Frank, and Tom Davies. So Tom Davies will be credited with 8th. Max Frank in his Kokomo debut comes across 7th. Rob Cahoe comes along line 6th. Braden Clark will go to the to the B main. Comes home 5th. Going to the A main, the 6T of Trey Osborne. 3rd spot. Good run for the 21S Parker Fredrickson. Going to the redraw, your runner-up, the 63 and Max Adams. And Kokomo Speedway give him a nice round of applause. The driver of the 2B started 3rd in this one in the Honest Abe Roofing Pinnock Enterprises entry. How about it for Jake Swanson? It's going to roll the top side on. You see cars now firing here for heat number 2. Let's give you the schedule lineup. We got a little quiet on the Speedway. Scheduled to go on the pole out of Greenfield, Indiana. And the 97 will be Austin Nye, the Nye Motorsports entry. And alongside of him, driving the legendary Paul Hazen, number 57, out of Frankfort, Indiana, the Physical Medicine Consultants U.S. Automation Jackson Oil entry of Fast Jack Hoyer. Inside, row number 2, I believe also shaking a new car down, just like the 2B. He hails out of Arlington, Texas. That's Anton Hernandez in the Fox Pacing Kane Automotive entry. And alongside of him, happy to see this team return back to competition here after a few years off. And the TER, Physical Medicine Consultants, Binnick Racing Enterprises, Book Miller Racing, a former Kokomo track champion, and the 47 out of Marionette, Scotty Weir. Row 3 on the inside out of Clyde, Victoria, Australia. And the Jason Sudret Racing Drew Fab Electric Works Nero Power 44, it's Todd Hobson. And alongside of him, the driver of the 1 car, he hails out of Santa Rosa, California. And the Lawson Rock and Oil, Joe Hunt Magneto's Total Image Painting, number 1 of Nate Schenk. Final row will look like this. The veteran here, the Kokomo Speedway. He hails out of Harlan, Indiana, the Jim's Auto Care. URB Tech Manufacturing, Binnick Enterprises, number 99. It's Jack James. And another driver returning after a few years off. We'll start to the outside of him. Originally hailing out of Memphis, Tennessee, aboard the 31, the HPI FK Indy entry. It's Robert Brown. 8 cars, 8 laps, top 4 to go to the A main, top 2 go to the redraw. Heat number 2. All right, all 8 answer the bell. We'll stack them up 2 by 2. Young Austin Nye, young Jack Hoyer. Two young throttle stompers here, the Indiana Sprint Car Wars, your front row. This is the maiden voyage for Scotty Weir in the 47. First time this car has seen the track is here tonight. Brand new piece. Of course, the TER team, former feature winners here at the Kokomo Speedway. They know how to get the job done. 8 cars, 8 laps, 4 starting spots on the line. Lights are out. Nye and Hoyer on the hammer. Green. Oh, boy, here we go. Stacking them up. It wasn't pretty. Everybody's going in the right direction. Green light means go. Jack Hoyer now showing the way after that wild start. Scotty Weir quickly up to the second spot. Nye third. Battle right now between Hernandez and Shank. Hernandez now into the final transfer spot in the Fox Baldwin number 5. So far, everybody minding their P's and Q's after that rough start. Top 2 have broken away. Paul Hazen's first night out in the 57, card-carrying member of the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame. Young Mr. Hoyer, second-generation racer, run all of the companion sprint car events here during Midget Week. Was in the family car until tonight. And it looks sporty. The Hazen 57 is here to play. Quickly. Laps start and slide away here. Heat number 2. Front 2 have checked out. Gone. Hernandez holding on to that third spot. Austin Nye right now sits on the bump. Final transfer spot. White flag in the air this time for Jack Hoyer. 1 trip around Kokomo Speedway. Scotty Weir going to go to the redraw unless he has some type of woes. Hernandez going to put it in the show. Shank trying to put a move on Nye. Good battle for the final transfer spot. Meanwhile, this one's all Hoyer here in heat number 2. He'll pick up the win. Scotty Weir across the line. Second, Hernandez third, and Nye puts it in the show. Shank will come over the 5th spot. Hops, it'll be 6, Robert Brown and Jack James. Heat number 2 in the books. Jack James of the 99 will be credited with 8th. Robert Brown in the 31 7th. Todd Hobson in the 44 6th. Nathan Shank, good effort. He'll go to the B in the number 1. Your transfer drivers. Austin Nye comes across the line 4th on the 97. Anton Hernandez of the 5. Oh, we'll finish 3rd. Scotty Weir will go to the redraw. Your runner-up in the 47. And how about a big round of applause for the legendary number 57, the physical medicine consultants, U.S. Automation, Jackson Oil entry of Fast Jack Hoyer. Heat number 3 rolling out of the racetrack. Let's go ahead and give you the scheduled lineup. Scheduled to go on the pole, the driver of the 4 making the long trip from Lone Jack, Missouri in the Anthony Plumbing and Heating Shriners Hospital for Children's Bull Snot. Number 4, it's Braden Cromwell. Alongside of him, another youngster out of Yorktown, Indiana, the Oak Motors Pizza King Bennick Enterprises 9Z, that's Zach Pretorius. Starting inside, row number 2, he hails out of Rockland, California, the Subaru Deaton's Waterfront Services. Number 12, it's the Madman, Robert Ballou. Alongside the Madman, the winningest driver in the country headed into tonight's activities. He'll drive the 41 out of Camarillo, California, the physical medicine consultants, Morse Farms. Entry, it's the Ripper, Ricky Lewis in the 41. Row number 3 on the inside, the 00 out of Anderson, Indiana, the Purdue Farms Day Transportation Burns Concrete entry. That's Colin Grissom. And alongside of him, out of Greenfield, Indiana, in the gray Auto Lucky 7 Technologies MPI entry, the 06 of Rylan Gray. 4th and final row, we'll find a pair of drivers making their first non-wing start here at the Kokomo Speedway. The driver of the 4 out of Goodyear, Arizona, the MP Environmental 6X Management Group Triple X chassis, that's Logan Calderwood. He's made all the events this week in the sprint car side of things. And alongside of him, out of Galveston, Indiana, in the Gabby Contracting Cobb Glass Crawford sides, Young, Landon Butler in the 18. So we got 8, 4-8, top 4 going to the main event. Tommy Boy says, pitter patter, let's get at her. Lights are out. So Greg's got to get outside row number 3 because the bus about ready to leave the barn. So here we go. Lights are out. Cromwell, Pretorius, 2 youngsters. Both of them some laps around the Kokomo Speedway. Green flag in there. We're off and trucking. Good start for the Madman Robert Ballou. He'll pick off one down the back straightaway quickly to the second spot. Talked to Robert a little bit earlier. New shock package that has brought that machine to life here in 2024. He will challenge Braden Cromwell. Made the show last night. Beautiful Hopstad, Indiana. Currently is your leader. Pretorius third. Ricky Lewis going to slide past him. Lewis now going to take over the third spot. Those 4 have broken away from the rest of the field. Just shy of halfway. Got one off the pace. I believe that's the 00. Colin Grissom down in the infield. His heat's over. So you're the reigning Little 5 Rookie of the Year. Will try his luck in the B main. So the former Rookie of the Year, we got problems. One over in 2. That is Landon Butler in the shadows, turnover 2. Everybody does a good job of won it, but they'll miss him. We'll get him pushed back up his first visit here at the Kokomo Speedway with an on-wing 410. We saw him last year. The race saver 305 for the famed Butler Racing family. And that will bring us to caution. We are halfway, 4 in the books, 4 to go. Good to have our friends from Lawrenceburg Safety with us here. We have them just about every event, so they'll get down to the scene, check with that. Grissom's going to head back to the pit area, so the crew's going to go to work. Mark Orr's going to get him a bump because the B main will be coming quicker than they want. So Cromwell, impressive here in heat number 3. He has shown the way he has led them all. Robert Ballou sits in that second spot. Ricky Lewis, third. Pretorius right now on the bump, 4th and final transfer spot. Of course, Logan Calderwood's been doing a ton of racing, as we mentioned. Has run all the companion events this week. Him and Jack Hoyer are the only 2 to make that happen. Rylan Gray's run quite a bit as well. Back in the family car. Was in the Burton machine, I believe, last night. Downtown Putnamville, Indiana. So we'll see if the 18 refire. In fact, it will. So he'll tag the tail. Halfway, 4 down, 4 to go. So lights are out. So Cromwell going to fire. And 3 and 4. He's on the hammer. Green light, green flag. Here we go. Heat 3. So just like the start of the heat, Robert Ballou used the slider to get past Cromwell. Lewis going to follow suit. So Cromwell with not a good restart. He'll fight back. He'll go back to that second slot. Pretorius right there as well. So things getting a touch spicy right here. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Meanwhile, the Madman says bye-bye. He's got to go. 2 to go. Robert Ballou picked up the Kokomo Clash to close out the season. Trying to get him a heat race win. Lewis jumps the cushion in 2. That's going to cost him all types of time. And a big enough advantage where it's not going to cost him the spot. Cromwell's got him in his sights, but not have enough time at the line. Give it to Robert Ballou. Lewis comes 2nd. He'll go to the redraw. Good heat race for Cromwell. He'll be credited with the 3rd spot. And Zach Pretorius comes across the line 4th. So picking up a heat race win. How about a nice round of applause for the Madman, Robert Ballou. Ricky Lewis going to go to the redraw with him. Braden Cromwell crosses the line 3rd. Zach Pretorius gets that 4th and final transfer spot. Good effort for Rylan Gray. He'll be headed to the B main, along with Logan Calderwood. Landon Butler, and Colin Grissom. And just like that, it's time for the final heat race here at the Kokomo Speedway, as we mentioned. XR Super Late Models in the house here tomorrow night, along with the Ona Modified, so big doubleheader weekend. So hopefully you can join us for that one tomorrow. Late models traditionally are kind of put on some banging shows here at the Kokomo Speedway. So if you want to keep the race weekend a-rolling, hopefully we'll see you here at Kokomo tomorrow night. All right, here we go. Heat race number 4 will look like this on the pole. The driver out of Martinsville, Indiana, the 16K. It'll be Andrew Prather in the Night Racing Smith Small Engines, anything in specialties, IGC entry. Alongside of him, returning after a year off, out of Windfall, Indiana, the 11, that'll be Aaron Davis, the TNT Auto Sales Redmond Excavating JDA Trailers entry. That's your front row. I believe this young man is headed off to the Eastern Storm next week out of Cincinnati, Ohio, in the Wedgwood Motorsports Epoxy Systems International. Glen Farms entry out of Cincinnati. It'll be Saban Bybit. And alongside of him, the driver of the 16, straight up 16 out of Brazil, Indiana. And the Young Blood Farms Timberland Lumber Company, JKR. It's the bus driver. It's Harley Burns in the 16. Inside, row number 3, making his Kokomo debut out of Westfield, Indiana, the Edge Rock Development LTH Financial Services Hoosier Speed entry. That's the 71 of Sam Hines. Hines in the 71. Another driver getting his first crack at the Kokomo Speedway in the sprint car out of Sydney, New South Wales, Australia, the Gary Rook-owned Oak Flat Motorcycle Scientism Old School Competition Welding entry. That is the 42 AU Nathan Smee. Final row will look like this. Another Aussie, another debut here. Also hailing out of Sydney. And he'll be driving the number 12. It'll be Andrew Van Dam in the Key Industrial Plastic for Truckers Skeen Speed Sport entry. And the 12 AUS Andrew Van Dam. And alongside of him, and the Retro Rocket out of Rochester, Indiana, the Hogue Racing entries. Entry, the 37 Dave Gross. 8 cars, 8 laps, 4 spots on the line. Final sprint car heat here on a Sunday night. So I believe Bybit's going to stop here in the front straightaway. Lawrenceburg safety going to take a gander there. So So Lawrenceburg safety trying to rock the car in gear, in and out box here. No transmissions in the sprint car, so that's what you got going on there. Looks like Matt McCarty's getting his cardio in as well. No CrossFit for him. Oh, it's Carson. Well, Matt is kind of old these days, so that makes sense. So Carson's going to get him fired here, hopefully. Yeah. It is my friend Jason Seltzer, who's in the house here tonight. Jason, that, my friend, is no bueno. Jason's had an eventful week. So tough break for Saban. They'll take it back to the crew led by his father. See if he can get it figured out for the B-Main. So we'll go dancing with 7, 8 laps, top 4. If you get a chance, most of the Indiana fans know, but if you're out of town, coolest hauler of the night, hands down, goes to Harley Burns. He brings it in the school bus, so that is why he is the bus driver. A pretty solid 2024. He's picked up a couple wins already in search for that first career win here at the Kokomo Speedway. So Prather, Davis, green flag. Here we go. Well, things not what Burns wanted. He kept the ship righted in the right direction. We stay green. Heat 2 was ugly. Heat 4 match ensued, but we're off and trucking here. So far, so good. Andrew Prather been driving the 16K. Splits time between that and the family car. How about Aaron Davis? A local racer, graduate of the 600 micros right now. Sporty Kokomo Speedway. That is good to see. Hines sits third into his debut. Smee trying to put it in the show. Burns is in recovery mode. So the front two, gone. Halfway. They're going to try to settle amongst themselves. Hines impressive. Smee, a veteran of the midget ranks right now, trying to put the Gary Rookmobile into the show. And yellow on the Speedway. Believe that may be on Andrew Van Dam, facing the wrong way. So caution flies. So the big lead top two had, well, that just got pushed to the wayside. So Prather trying to get the night 16 into the show. They build their own race cars. It's kind of a lost art in today's world. The Magnum chassis. So we mentioned Aaron Davis, long laps around the Kokomo Speedway, the family-owned entry by his father. Jeff Davis took the year off, kind of regrouped. I want to say back with vengeance in 2024. So we've got some interesting stories here. Hines, 71, a graduate of the mini sprints. A lot of years of karting. First foray into sprint cars. Nathan Smee trying to put it in the show. So an abbreviated trip for that team here in the States. This might benefit Harley Burns more than anyone. So he's kind of going to hit Control-Alt-Delete because the start was bad. Then bobbled off the 4. So now he's got a shot. Here we go. Battle starting to shape up for that final redraw spot. Or excuse me, final transfer spot. Front two, once again, is separating from the rest of the field. But time starting to slip away. In fact, Tommy Boy's got the white flag in the air, 1 to go. Front two have checked out. Burns one last shot down the back straightaway. Don't think he's going to be close enough. Off of turn number 4. Give the heat race win to Andrew Prather. Impressive. Aaron Davis second. How about Sam Hines puts it in the show. Nathan Smee will go dancing tonight. Burns, Van Dam, Gross, and Bybent. Final heat of the night in the book. Saban Bybent will be credited with the 8th spot. Dave Gross in the 37 will be 7th. Andrew Van Dam of the 12 AUS will be 6th. Harley Burns got some extra credit. He'll be headed to the B main. Your transfer drivers, the Aussie, the 42 AU, will be Nathan Smee. Great effort for the 71H to Sam Hines out of his debut. He'll go to the show. Aaron Davis, your runner-up, and picking up a heat race win. He'll drive the 16K for the night racing team, the Smith Small Engines, anything at Specialties IGC. Pay him off. Nice round of applause, Andrew Prather. So, sprint car heats are put in the books. We'll get the B and A lineups cooking. Meanwhile, we're going to kick it over to Brian and Christy. We'll get some big heats coming up for the midgets.
Indeed, we do. Thank you very much. The first of 4 heat races set to make their way out for the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Heat race number 1, brought to you by Simpson Race Products.
Lineup set to roll to the green like this. Driving the pole is out of Peoria, Arizona. The Avanti Windows indoors. Beaver Stripes, Apache Transport number 3P. It's going to be Drake Edwards lining up next to him. Head to the other side of the country, and we'll find the driver out of Royersford, Pennsylvania. The Buckwalter Roofing, A1 powered, elite chassis, Royalton Recycling number 25B. That will be Steve Buckwalter. Second row from the inside, Dason Pursley out of Locust Grove, Oklahoma. The PristineAuction.com, NOS Energy, Toyota Racing Development, CB Industries number 86. And for the 4th starting spot in 8, that'll be Chase McDermott. He's out of Springfield, Illinois. The Woodland Auto Display, Nutri-Right Berry Growers, Josh Ford Motorsports number 8W. Next row for the inside, it's going to be Little Bundy. That's going to be Ethan Mitchell out of Mooresville, North Carolina. The Dyad CNC Tooling, Bundyville Honda Spike Chassis, Millbridge Speedway number 19M. And outside of him, tonight's quick qualifier, Logan Seavey out of Sutter, California. The Indy Fuel AP Driver Development, Prime 47 Drexel Interior CGCPA's number 57. Final row for the inside in 7. That will be last night's Inferno Armor Fire Move of the Night recipient. Out of Wheatfield, Indiana, driving the Smoky Speed Shop, Chevy V4 powered Spike Chassis number 17. That'll be Adam Taylor. And your final starter set to be the 99 of Robert Carson out of Concord, California, driving the Carson Seeger Racing Essinger Spike, Backwoods MC, MPD, RPG, LOK Enterprises number 99K. As that'll be your lineup for Simpson Race Products Heat Race number 1 of 4 tonight with the USAC NOS Energy during Midget National Championship. Christy Bimis joining me in the booth. Logan Seavey coming out of a little bit of a rough patch, but he's coming out swinging.
I'm glad we got to recognize their last year's championship tonight and last year's Indiana Midget Week titleist as well. So that's something we're going to talk about later on, the way that Indiana Midget Week titles tend to feed into national championships. The same is true for Indiana Sprint Week, which we're getting to. We're getting there slowly. So excited that we got to have that opportunity to recognize how far Abacus Racing has come and what they've been able to accomplish in a really short amount of time.
You know, and especially talking about the sprint car side, where this is their rookie season in the sprint car side of things.
It is, and it's so hard to believe that.
You know,
and it's so hard to believe that just sheerly on the amount of success they've had. You would think this team has been around for decades.
You know, just look at their first wins. They were both on the same night of Volusia, picked up $16,000. Last time anybody did that, Bud Kading, that was back in like 2001 to win 2 in one night like that. 9 overall wins on the season. He, of course, backed up his championship at the Chili Bowl, got the 2 wins at Volusia, got the win at Bloomington. First midget win of the year came at Sweet Springs, or got the rifle at Terre Haute, got the win at Circle City, got the win at Tri-State. Not bad.
You really can't argue that he is one of a handful of drivers who is in their complete prime right now.
Oh, absolutely. Looking over the field here, Drake Edwards in the 3. Currently 3rd in standings with the Avanti Windows and Doors USAC Western States Midgets. Having the opportunity to come out and take on Indiana Midget Week.
And it's been a pretty good week for him so far. Drake York actually just mentioned, I think yesterday, he said that Drake Edwards is getting more expensive on Dirt Draft. He said he's been my low baller this week, and now he's getting more expensive. I can't afford him anymore. And that speaks to the week, he said.
And it's one of those where maybe sometimes the results don't reflect what we're talking about, but if you look at the speed and the progress he's made in his limited starts on the national scale like this, he really has started to improve. Got a 20th place finish last night at Tri-State. Obviously not where he wanted to finish, but still picking up steam as we work into the final night. Field set to go to green, side by side of the NOS Energy start can up for turn number 4. Edwards going to pick up the pace, and they're going to charge into turns 1 and 2. He'll work down to the bottom side of the speedway. Buckwalter working to the high side. Trying to get by both of them now as they'll go wheel to wheel into turns 3 and 4 for the top spot. Buckwalter all the way up at the top shelf. Down to the bottom goes the 3. Slides it wide. The 86 is there to try to capitalize on it. Dason Pursley up into 2nd. Speaking of that Avanti Windows the door entry up top side. Good battle for that 2nd spot.
Yes, so Dason Pursley moved up the racetrack just a little bit and gave Drake Edwards just enough room to sneak by. Logan Seavey now haunting the 3P.
Looking down to the inside as they work into turns 1 and 2 and onto the back straightaway. Challenge for the race lead. He will bring the slide up across the racetrack. He will clip the whiskers off at the number 25, as Chet would say, but he's going to swing back to the inside, and Buckwalter going to hold on to it. Dason Pursley right there challenging in a big way. He's going to take it onto the backstretch.
Steve Buckwalter not done yet, though. He's going to slide Dason Pursley going into turns number 3 and 4 here, but Dason Pursley going to squeak by on the outside.
Going a little bit faster sideways into West Ford. Oh, look out. Contact. Seavey with nowhere to go and somehow keeps it rolling.
That's the 3rd night in a row that Logan Seavey has had just catastrophe happen in front of him in his heat race. Tonight, he keeps it rolling. The prior 2 nights, not so fortunate, although it didn't end up impacting his night hardly at all, but
it's gotten better as the week goes on. First night he flipped. Last night he got stopped. Tonight he Just about went over the front of the 25. That front end contact going to fold it up like lawn furniture here, and Drake down trackside getting a look at it.
Brian, it looks like all the damage on the 25 of Buckwalter's car is all on the left front, but that axle is completely folded in. If you look at the right side of the race car, it looks like there's hardly anything wrong with it, but that left side definitely where that axle is folded in. Tough break for Buckwalter running in a transfer spot.
Definitely so. We'll see if that Elite VRP Shocks number 25 can make repairs. We're going to see him later on in your Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts semi-feature event. No guaranteed time in the Indy Metal Finishing Work Area during the heat races, the semi, and the final 5 laps of the feature event. So set to go back to green. Pursley, Edwards, Seavey going to take over that 3rd spot. McDermott and Mitchell now into a transfer spot into the feature event. Again, top 5 going to move on as we get back after it.
So now we're looking at only 2 cars who are not going to make it out of the Simpson Race Products Heat Race number 1, who are going to have to be relegated to the Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts semi-feature event. Ethan Mitchell holding down that final transfer position right now. But Adam Taylor, who was last night's Inferno Armor Fire Move of the Night recipient, kind of hunting him down right now.
See if he can get up and avoid having to race his way in back through a semi-feature event as we check back up front to Dason Pursley. He was dancing all over that cushion last time, but danced almost a little bit too hard, kind of flew the front end a little bit. At pristineauction.com, City Industries number 86 now going to duck down to the low line in turns 1 and 2. Behind him, Drake Edwards. Looked like he might have gotten balled up with the cushion just a little bit. Seavey trying to capitalize and close in.
Top side of the racetrack, definitely the place to be right now. Dason Pursley utilizing the middle bottom side of the racetrack in turns number 1 and 2. Everywhere else, though, for everybody else, seems like the top side is the more preferred line, but Logan Seavey did just try the Dason Pursley line on that final lap.
Really had to wait on the car, and that's going to allow the 8 to close in and see if he can pick the spot away. Couldn't get there in the Woodland Auto Display entry. McDermott still going to run in the 4th spot. Ethan Mitchell continuing around your top 5. White flag coming out this time for your leader, Dason Pursley. Battle on for second as they work into turns 1 and 2. Seavey going to short slide into turn 1. Has it off the exit of turn number 2. Checkered flag now going to drop in this one. It will be Dason Pursley picking up his 5th heat race win of the season. Logan Seavey crossing in second. Drake Edwards in third. Chase McDermott, Ethan Mitchell. Those 5 drivers going to move on. Adam Taylor, Robert Carson, and Steve Buckwalter are going to find themselves in your Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts semi-feature event. But your winner, ladies and gentlemen, he hails out of Locust Grove, Oklahoma, the pristineauction.com. NOS Energy Drink, Toyota Racing Development, number 86. Race fans, give him a hand. Dason Pursley. Not a bad way to start the night. 5th win in a heat race of the season. I believe Richie just said 3rd.
3rd on this Indiana Midget Week. 3rd in a row, yeah, that's right. And then as well, he's picked up a handful of Honest Abe Roofing Fast Qualifier Awards, handful of feature events during this 2024 season, 1 this week. Not too bad for the 86.
He's leading points all over the place here with the Midgets, too. He leads your national standings. He leads Midget Week standings. He leads Passing Master standings. All the above.
So it's so interesting that he's leading the Indiana Midget Week title points, the USAC NOS Energy Drink National Midget points, and also the Pro Source Passing Master points for Indiana Midget Week. And to have a win and a couple of fast qualifier awards, and to still be able to somehow pass the most cars so far is so fascinating.
2nd at Lawrenceburg, 3rd at Lincoln Park, a win at Bloomington, 3rd last night, quick time at Lincoln Park and Tri-State. You know where the redraw is? It's crazy. Just the week he has had here, but
yeah,
we've talked about sometimes a driver, they just get on a roll, and he's right now, you call him butter because he is on that roll for sure. Ronda Supply Heat Race number 2 onto the Speedway. Taylor Reimer to Bixby, Oklahoma, the Buzzballs. Speedway Total Link, KKM, Kerbeck, Janian, Kerb Records number 25K going to be on the pole this one. Next to her will be her teammate, Cannon McIntosh, and the Gear Wrench TRD, Mobile 1, Kerb Records, Speedway Link number 71K, the driver out of Bixby, Oklahoma. Next row from the inside, Kyle Jones. He's out of Kennedale, Texas. The Realty Connect, Spike Stanton, SR11X, number 27X. And for the 4th spot, it'll be Jacob Denny out of Galloway, Ohio. The Trent Shoring, Rodilla Fabrication, FK Rod Ends. Link Chassis, number 25. Next row from the inside, Daniel Whitley out of Ferndale, California. The American Fire Extinguisher, Speedway Toyota Spike Chassis, Ramco Speed Group, number 7M. And next to him, Second fastest in Honest Abe Roofing qualifying, Michael Pickens out of Auckland, New Zealand, the TRD. Link Chassis, Speedway Toyota, Mobile 1, IWX, Kerbagajania, number 67K. Final starter in this one, set to be Weston Gorham at Colleyville, Texas, the second Opinion Auto. Pulse Racing Innovation, MPD IPC number 18N. As that'll be your lineup in Ron Supply Heat Race number 2, I believe Drake with another update.
Brian, we've talked a lot all day about Michael Pickens getting the late ride offer from Keith Coons, Kerbagajania, but starting to Pickens inside here in this Rod and Supply Heat Race number 2 in the Ramco Speed Group 7M. That's Daniel Whitley, and his deal actually came together later than Michael Pickens. He got a text from the team about 10:30 a.m. this morning asking if he wanted to drive the race car, and his day job, if you will, is working for Abacus Racing. He's a full-time crew member for Logan Seavey in the National Sprints, National Midgets, and the Silver Crown division, but always loves to jump in the race car when he can, and his famous line, "Don't forget your helmet bag, kids," really coming into play here at Kokomo tonight.
It's kind of an interesting scene. He was walking out of the Abacus trailer with his, and Seavey was walking up with his.
I wonder what kind of speed secrets he's able to bring over there out of the Abacus Racing camp.
Well, they call him the test driver, jokingly, so.
Not a bad gig.
No, not a bad gig at all. Second USAC start of the season. They're going to come around to the NOS Energy start can. That's the starting point. They were getting a little antsy there. They're going to work onto the back straightaway. Green lights are going to stay on, as it will be the 71K. Streaking off with the race lead here. The gear wrench engine going to come around and lead lap number 1. Cannon McIntosh in command.
Taylor Reimer came from the inside of row number 1, kind of got shuffled back on that initial start when they got bottled up, but now she's making a run back at Cannon McIntosh. This is like deja vu from last night.
Boy, and Taylor Reimer, she's gotten buried a couple of times this week, but she's been able to make that run back and get herself back into contention, and she's going to hold on to that second spot right now. Michael Pickens, a good battle for the third spot there for a moment with Jacob Denny. He'll have the advantage. Denny and Kyle Jones right now sitting in the final transfer directly into the feature event. Trying to close in on that is Daniel Whitley, currently running that 6th spot. Weston Gorham continuing to run at your running order. Cannon, it's like he's been shot at him one already. Here he comes around with about a half a straightaway advantage. Battle for second shaping up here.
Taylor Reimer did just get a little bit loose on the cushion and got that car turned just a little bit sideways. It's enough for Michael Pickens to catch her. Can he pass her?
So Cannon McIntosh looking for heat race win number 3 on the season. Pickens right there stalking as they work into turns 1 and 2. Again, dives it down to the bottom of the speedway. Thought he was going to go for the slide. Instead, he's going to stay to the hub of the speedway. Reimer with a good run onto the back straightaway with momentum up to the high side of turns 3 and 4. Grabs the cushion. She's going to hold on to it.
That was a good run off the top side of the racetrack for Taylor Reimer, who was able to place the right rear perfectly on the cushion in order to get as much momentum as possible and sort of just power around Pickens.
You know, Taylor seeing that run coming from Pickens at the inside of turns 1 and 2, went down and tried at that time to see if maybe the car felt a little bit better. We'll see if she goes back down there again. Feels like and looks like she may have found something there as she's going to go ahead and mimic the line that she was challenged with just a couple laps ago. Is now challenged coming on behind them. Slide by the 25. Does he have it? No. Denny skips it up over the cushion off of turn number 4. Pickens going to retake it.
So Jacob Denny challenging Michael Pickens for that 3rd position and did reel him in as Pickens was trying to catch up with Reimer. Reimer pulls away, and then Pickens is under fire from Jacob Denny.
So white flag has flown in this one. Leader going to work on to the back straightaway for the final time here in Rod Supply Heat Race number 2. The driver to Bixby going to pick up another heat race win on the season. Cannon McIntosh getting the job done at the gear wrench number 71K. Taylor Reimer crossing in 2nd. Michael Pickens in 3rd. Jacob Denny in 4th. And Kyle Jones holds on for the transfer into the feature event. Daniel Whitley and Weston Gorham unofficially running out your field. But your winner, ladies and gentlemen, he hails out of Bixby, Oklahoma. Driver the gear wrench TRD Mobile 1. Curb Records, Link Speedway Toyota Power number 71K. Race fans, give him a hand. Cannon McIntosh. Taylor Reimer in 2nd, Michael Pickens in 3rd, Jacob Denny in 4th, Kyle Jones, Daniel Whitley, and Weston Gorham unofficially running out your field.
Cannon McIntosh, the most recent winner at Kokomo Speedway with the USAC NOS Energy Drink National Midgets back in 2023's round of Indiana Midget, 2022's round of Indiana Midget Week, actually. Man, we do get rained out here a lot with the midgets, unfortunately.
Let's see. Richie posted the stat. 729 days since USAC National Midgets graced clay here at Kokomo.
That's a shame.
That's hard. It's almost painful to say. So TJ Ford's heat race number 3 set to make its way out. You'll find Gavin Miller out of Allentown, Pennsylvania on the pole. This one, the Sound Gear Toyota Racing Development, KKM Kerbagajania number 97. Next to him, first USAC National start of the season. Frankie Guarini out of San Rafael, California, driving the F&F Racing Z-Max Western Speed, Stat SR11, Spike Chassis number 63. Next row to the inside, you'll find the driver out of Collinsville, Oklahoma, the Eibach Toyota Link Speedway Toyota number 97K. That'll be Cale Drake, and next to him, it's going to be Hayden Reinbold at Gilbert, Arizona, the AME Electrical Indy Race Parts Stanton Spike Chassis number 19AZ. Jade Evadissian inside of your next row. She'll roll from 5th at Clovis, California, driving the Mobile One Yahoo TRD Peels Curb Records IWX number 71. And next to her, that's going to be Zach Weigel. He's out of Belpre, Ohio, driving the Dave Noss Auto Outlet Speedway Toyota Spike Chassis, McCarthy Real Estate CB Industries number 89. Final starter in this one, defending champion of the Rocky Mountain Midget Racing Association, the Cappy Mason Racing. Simpson, Stanton SR11, Spike, AMSOIL, PXP Racewear number 91. That is Lance Bennett. As that'll be your lineup here in TJ Ford's Heat Race number 3. Let's go down to Drake.
Well, Brian, we had a bit of a celebrity sighting back in the pit, specifically in the AME Electrical pit of Hayden Reinbold. Saw Ricky Thornton Jr. down there. Of course, one of the best late model drivers in the country as of late. When you look at the last couple of years, especially with the Lucas Oil Dirt Late Model Series, which, by the way, you can watch here on Flow all season long. And got to talk to him a little bit, and he really wants to get the chance to run a outdoor midget race soon. Of course, we saw him at the Chili Bowl Nationals at the beginning of the season, but really itching to get out here in a USAC midget race specifically. So anyways, good to see Ricky Thornton Jr. back in the pit area. He'll actually be racing here tomorrow in the late model.
It's always good to see a midget driver take on the late model world. So field lining up, getting ready to go. They pace behind the Toyota Racing Development pace truck. 9 states, 2 countries represented here tonight. Got Arkansas, California, Colorado, Illinois, North Carolina, Ohio, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, and Texas. We had 10 last night. Unfortunately, our resident native of Alabama not able to make the call here tonight. Speaking of Sharpies earlier, he's got 2 of them now for sure. Logan Seavey is down at his trailer signing autographs. So if you want to go down there, grab a shirt, grab an autograph. Ready to get after it here. Round 2, the NOS Energy start. Can we fly? And we're underway.
Jade Evadissian taking a look to the inside of Cale Drake on that start. Didn't quite get it done. Now she's going to try to make up some of that ground she lost.
Boy, threading the needle right up through the middle on the exit. Turn number 2, the 97 with a good move up into the race lead. Lap number 1, Gavin Miller. Kind of fell back a little bit there on the start, but he was able to shoot back right up through the center. Looking back, the 71 of Evadissian really having to wait on the car that time of the exit. Turn number 2 in danger of falling out of a transfer spot here. Works around the bottom side of turns 3 and 4. She will have the 89. Coming after her, Weigel in 6th, Lance Bennett in 7th, but Gavin Miller under pressure on the back straightaway for the top spot.
Jade Evadissian just got a huge run coming out of turns number 2, kind of just went right by Hayden Reinbold. She found the top side of the racetrack, and that's where she's making that speed now.
Hayden going to lose another spot around to the front straightaway. Zach Weigel going to race his way up into a transfer spot. Gavin Miller and Cale Drake. The 297 is going to go at it here. It will be the Sound Gear number 97 over the Eibach Springs number 97 right now. It's Miller, Drake, Guarini, Evadissian, Weigel, one up. Couldn't tell if she got the wall or not. The sun beating down, but she definitely had problems over in turns 1 and 2. That was Jade Evadissian in the Yahoo number 71.
Maybe she just got over the cushion and got into the wall a little bit, just like Cale Drake did just there. Not quite as dramatic, as he's going to lose some ground to Gavin Miller, who continues to lead TJ Ford's Heat Race number 3.
So Miller right now can take a sigh of relief. His closest competitor now trailing by a little over 1.2 seconds. Guarini in his first midget start of the season. Looking pretty snazzy as they work onto the back straightway. Can't get too comfortable, though, as he's going to have Weigel closing in. And that number 89 as they work around. We've got less than 3 laps to go in this one.
And the battle's on for the transfer position. Jade Evadissian just got a run around Hayden Reinbold, who had caught up to her and tried to make something happen there in turns number 1 and 2. But Jade Evadissian back to the top side of the racetrack and picks up her speed.
Caution lights come on. Lance Bennett. He's in it over in turn number 2. He will come to a rest. So again, Logan Seavey down at his trailer signing autographs. As we'll check the broadcast here on the FloRacing replay, believe we'll have one coming up and get a look at exactly what happened to Jade Evadissian and went in. Oh, there it was. Get to slow down, and Guarini going in and tagging the cushion, and that actually got her on the brakes. That got the car upset, and she did a magnificent job of keeping it out of the
that was
wall.
actually an incredible save, and it's so thankful for replays because it's impossible to see it all the first time. So, yeah, actually a very great save by Jade Avedisian that time.
Not giving the old Guardy Lou before he tossed it in there. So single file past the NOS Energy start can. Quick dash to the finish here. Back to green. Now this puts Cale Drake back into position to try to challenge for the race lead. And as I say it, down to the inside, up to the top spot goes the Eibach number 97K. Got it on the back straightaway.
Gavin Miller going to try to recuperate some of the speed he's making on that one. Jade Avedisian across the nose of Frankie Guarini, who's also going to get snookered by Hayden Reinbold.
Yeah, 3 wide. And I thought Guarini was going to get the front end ripped out on both sides there for a second as the door closed on him. Everybody raced for the same piece of real estate. Checker flag going to fly in this one. And that restart going to pay dividends to Cale Drake. He is going to pick up the heat race win. Gavin Miller, Zach Weigel, Jade Avedisian, and Hayden Reinbold. What a shakeup in that one, all the way through the field. Those 5 drivers going to move on. Guarini and Bennett unofficially going to round out your field. But your winner, ladies and gentlemen, comes to you out of Collinsville, Oklahoma, in the Eibach Toyota KKM Give Back Classic. Speedway Toyota Link Chassis number 97K. Race fans, give him a hand. Cale Drake getting the job done at TJ Ford's heat race number 3. Gavin Miller, Zach Weigel, Jade Avedisian, Hayden Reinbold, Frankie Guarini, and Lance Bennett unofficially rounding out your field.
So Frankie Guarini really the car there on that final restart that didn't want to see that come out. Got shaken back a little bit by both Jade Avedisian and Hayden Reinbold as they were able to find a little bit more in those closing laps of TJ Ford's heat race number 3.
First heat race win of the season for the driver of the number 97K. As we're on to Car IQ heat race number 4, Blake Brannon. He's out of Morgan Hill, California. He pilots the Kaiser wheels of Van Shocks, Cloud Synthetic Lubricants number 40. Next to him going to be fellow California driver Jake Andriani out of Castro Valley, California. The Acro Seal, Lucky 7 Technologies, 4 Kings Racing number 14. Next row from the inside, it's going to be Zach Dahm out of Pocahontas, Illinois. The American Fire Extinguishers of Blue Max Pay. Speedway Toyota King Chassis number 7P. Next to him, Ryan Timms. He's out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Driver of the JBL IWX Mobile One Curb Records number 67. Justin Grant set to roll from the 5th starting spot out of Ione, California. The NOS Energy Drink, EnviroFab, MPV Express, RMS Racing number 2. And outside of him, good qualifying effort tonight for Hank Davis out of Sand Springs, Oklahoma. The Belling Racing Equipment, Cornell Racing Stables number 8. Final starters slated to be the 17A, Tom Dunkel out of Manatee, California. The Inland Rigging, Osborne Speed and Machine, Josh Ford Motorsports number 17A. As that'll be your scheduled lineup for Car IQ Heat Race number 4 here with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Final night of Indiana Midget Week. If you're just joining us here on the FloRacing broadcast, night 8 on the season. This is race number 87 at Kokomo for the National Midgets. So from right now until 9:30 tonight, local time, gonna make sure you're not thinking we're messing with time zones here. Midget Week shirts, 2 for $50. And Jared Smith, you need to make your way down to the USAC souvenir trailer as well, as you are our Dirt Draft Ride of the Pace Truck deal recipient here tonight. So Jared, start making your way down to the USAC merchandise trailer. Special going on those Midget Week shirts, though. Again, that is up until 9:30. So Blake Brannon, Jake Andriani on that front row, Zach Dahm. Last night, about the most balance we have seen out of that car so far this week, as he has really been tuning and tweaking on the setup on it. And talked to him a little bit and said that's about the first time I've really seen it dig over on the right side, and he agreed, said it felt a lot better. As they'll go from the inside of that second row. Ryan Timms, Father Randy in attendance here tonight, a very accomplished modified racer. He'll go for the 4th spot. Justin Grant in the 2. Inside of your next rows, we go to green.
We got some contact in the front of that one as Blake Brandon goes to the top side of the racetrack. Jake Andriotti and Ryan Timms both come in with a full head of steam and just don't have enough time to slow down.
Oh, man, up over the cushion. He had a full head of steam, a little bit too much there. Nearly tags the wall. He does it. Ryan Timms with a big flip here on the front straightaway. Oh, man, Blake Brandon all over the track, all over the wall. And unfortunately, Ryan Timms is going to be the recipient of the contact, and he takes a violent ride here in the front straightaway. As he's already crawling up out of the car, race fans give him a hand. Nowhere to go. As Brandon all over the racetrack in front of him.
So like I said earlier, it's hard to know exactly what happened, only watching it one time in real time, but if memory serves, and I'm sure we're going to have a replay on FloRacing in just a moment, but for those of you at Kokomo Speedway who can't see the replay, seemed like Blake Brandon kind of just got a little bit sideways, got into the wall, turned the car horizontal to the racing surface, perpendicular, if you will, actually, and Ryan Timms just nowhere to go.
As I believe Drake down trackside.
Indeed, Brian, I've caught up with Ryan Timms. Ryan, that was a gnarly crash. So first off, are you feeling okay?
Yeah, I feel fine.
What happened from the seat of the 67?
I don't know what caused him to get kind of squirrely down the front stretch, but he just got kind of squirrely, and I went to go under him, and then he was 90 degrees down the front straightaway and got over his left front and just went for a ride. So I'm not sure how bad it is. It doesn't look very good, so hopefully this KKM team can get a rebuild and get me back out there.
All right, that's Ryan Timms. Glad to see him up and out of the race car, but his heat race is done, Brian.
Yeah, pretty much as you called it, exactly what he said.
Well, if anybody can get a car rebuilt or get a backup car down in time to salvage a night, it's KKM,
Yes.
so that's the good news.
So getting a look here on the FloRacing replay. And just catching the end of it there as Ryan flipping wildly down into the infield. So see him just at the bottom of the frame where he was all over the cushion and started coming down the racetrack, but not seeing where the contact occurred.
And it almost seems like Ryan Timms got just barely up over Blake Brandon's right rear, which then continued that kind of domino effect of some of that contact. And yeah, I think we got it.
Pretty much. Tough break, though, as he has had really an overall very successful Indiana Midget week. Got the win. Started off in Lawrenceburg. Had a second at Lincoln Park and 11th at Bloomington. 12th last night. And looking at last year's finish, Circle City was 19th. Backed up his win from Lawrenceburg in 2023 at a 13th at Lincoln Park, a 6th at Bloomington. We ended out last year at Tri-State. So overall, a little bit better week so far. Of course, this might put a dent in things.
Yeah, that's a tough way to wrap up your Indiana Midget Week. And like we said, I think if anybody's capable of putting together a good car, a good backup car, or fixing damage on the primary car, it's Keith Kunz Motorsports and their team, and they've got an army of crew guys back there who are always prepared to do just that kind of thing because they do have so many cars. And we saw it last night with Cannon McIntosh, how well he was able to rebound after having to go to the backup car and be relegated to the tail of the feature field.
So the field refiring, Andriotti going to be your leader. We have one lap officially scored according to timing and scoring here. Zach Dahm going to restart in second. Looks like Brandon should restart in third. Davis in fourth. Grant in fifth. And Tom Dunkel.
So we only have one lap in the books so far, but the fastest car on lap number 1 was Zach Dahm, and you had just said that they got that program headed in the right direction. Kokomo Speedway, a place that Zach Dahm has plenty of laps, and the bottom side of the racetrack, a little bit sporty tonight. I could see Zach Dahm being pretty competitive.
That's where you see Zach Dahm doing Zach Dahm things.
That's right.
He doesn't subscribe to the theory that if you run the wall, it's a lot closer when you hit it. No, he does his best work around the bottom. He's a very patient but a very aggressive driver.
And
we'll see
smart.
if he can. Yes.
We'll see if he can do that here tonight as we go back to green. On cue, goes to the bottom and turns 1 and 2. Can he get a run on Andreotti to the back straightaway? Not this time. Andreotti going to bolt by and holds on to the top spot. This time he's going to go ahead and slide her up the racetrack. Takes the line away from Brandon as they work around to the front straightaway. Andreotti leading lap number 2.
Hank Davis still in the picture as he goes to the bottom side of the racetrack following Zach Dom. Blake Brandon still railing the outside, and he's going to catch up to the 7.
So Blake Brandon, a lot of speed, still kind of dancing all over that cushion. Holds on to the 3rd spot. Dom closing in. Looks to the bottom one more time through turns 1 and 2. Had to wait on the car that time right in the center of turns 1 and 2. Brandon going to close in, but couldn't get there fast enough. Try to pull the trigger on a slide into the 3rd and 4th turns. As Andreotti leads Dom, Brandon, Davis, Grant. Those drivers sitting in transfer spots. The 17A, Tom Dunkel, right now the only driver on track that would be relegated into that semi-feature event.
It's all clear for Jake Andreotti so far, but Zach Dom has a run here as he's closing in on the 14, going to go to the bottom side of the racetrack. Jake Andreotti knows he's there now.
Boy, makes up a ton of time that time into turns 1 and 2. Doesn't quite go into the cushion. He brings in about a car width off of the top and lets the car kind of drift up and catch. Brings that momentum down to turns 1 and 2. Once again, going to go side by side into 1. Can he bring it out of 2? Not quite. It's going to be Andreotti holding on to it. We'll have 3 to go this time.
The 14 of Andreotti just too good around the top side of the racetrack that without Zach Dom having gotten that lead on a restart or being out front to begin with, it's going to be really hard to catch up that ground.
You know, kind of moving his line around, not quite all the way to the bottom that time, doesn't quite go all the way to the middle, so he's able to kind of play around with the line in turns 1 and 2, but the top at 3 and 4 is where you want to be with the way the sun is just bearing down to this racetrack. Turns 1 and 2, a lot more in the shade here, so maybe helping that bottom stay a little bit better, but the top of 3 and 4, that is where you want to be as the bottom kind of scuffed off here, but now starting to turn into a nice little shadowed area, so we'll see if maybe it can come back as we come to the white flag.
And over in 3 and 4, you've got a bit of a ledge developing below where the cushion is, so that's becoming a little bit trickier for some of these drivers as they're having to approach it differently than they were just a few laps ago.
He'll try the bottom and see if he can find something. Might be something coming in there. He closed in but ran out of time. Jake Andreotti going to grab the win. Zach Dom in 2nd, Blake Brandon in 3rd, Hank Davis, Justin Grant in 5th, Tom Dunkel and Ryan Timms unofficially running out your field. But your winner, ladies and gentlemen, he comes to you out of Castro Valley, California. 2nd time this season, he will pick up a heat race win in the Acro Seal, Four Kings Racing, Bordner Welding, Stanton DRC Chassis number 14 race fans. Give him a hand, Jake Andreotti. Zach Dom in 2nd, Blake Brandon in 3rd, Hank Davis, Justin Grant, Tom Dunkel, and Ryan Timms unofficially running at your field in Car IQ Heat Race number 4. So heat races in the books here tonight at Kokomo. Coming up next is going to be your semi-feature event for the sprint cars. So Drake making his way around to the fan side of the Speedway. Everybody say hi, Drake.
Nice warm welcome.
He's going to get a word with our heat race winners here. And the driver that has won more heat races than anyone this season.
We got to be patient with him here because he's done so well that now we're seeing Dason Pursley have a lot of people that want to talk to him, and that's always a good problem to have.
It is a good problem to have. That's the first rule of racing. Always have a Sharpie in your pocket. He is clicking on that one. Lots of autographs down there. So while the drivers are down there, we do encourage the kids and the fans, everybody go down there. Sure, go shake their hand, get an autograph. But also remember, Drake is going to be interviewing them, and he might interview you instead.
I encourage Drake to get in line.
So we got drivers making their way up, and Drake's going to catch up with them.
We'll start off with our winner in Simpson Race Products Heat Race number 1, Dason Pursley. His 5th heat race win on the season in the 8th event of the season. But Dason, you made all your passes on the bottom, but then you ventured up to the high side later in the race and actually gapped the field. So what went in that decision to move up to the top side?
Yeah, it was just the top was definitely dominant in 3 and 4 the whole heat race, and 1 and 2 it was kind of just pick and choose early on, and the 86 was very hooked up on the bottom, so decided to kind of run that in, and then once I felt like I kind of got a decent gap to second there, I decided just to try something. I started to slip down the back straightaway, and it was kind of hard to cross up into 3, so just thought I would try something for a little bit later in the night, and went up there in 1 and 2, and it seemed to be a little bit faster there.
Once again, that's Dason Pursley's 5th heat race win in the 8th event of the season. He's your winner of Simpson Race Products Heat Race number 1.
Talk about king of the heat races so far this season.
He's king of a lot of things, and I think I noticed it yesterday and just haven't said anything, but it's definitely worse today. He's losing his voice. I don't know if you've been able to tell, and I think it's because he's doing so many incredible things that he's getting interviewed way too much, and he's done lost his voice.
That's what we're going to blame it on, is we're going to head back down. Drake's got another one.
Cannon McIntosh, your winner of Rod End Supply Heat Race number 2. And Cannon, I know all the KKM cars, Link chassis, Speedway, Toyotas, but do you maybe have to drive this backup car a little bit different than your primary that you've ran for most of the week?
No, I just treat it the same. You know, every car they roll out, I feel like they make just as equal. So, yeah, just treat it the same and just go execute. Just struggled a bit in qualifying. I think going out late tonight hurt us a little bit, and I felt like we did a good job, had a good car. We just went out too late, I feel like. So, yeah, I was able to rebound, win the heat race. That's going to put us in the first 4 rows or so. So, I think we got a good shot at it tonight. Just try and stay on top of the ball, and hopefully the racetrack plays into our favor with what Keith's doing to the cars, and I think we'll be just fine.
Cannon McIntosh, your winner of Rod End Supply Heat Race number 2, comes in the night 3rd in Indiana midweek points.
You know, the way this track operates and the way it's raced over the years, it's always conducive to be able to kind of dig your way out of that hole, and we're seeing that already in the heat races.
And especially with the way that Cannon McIntosh has done that several times already, not only this week, but just this year, and he's had such a consistent season with being able to get a solid starting position tonight. I don't expect to see that changing anytime soon.
As we head back down to Drake.
TJ Forge, heat race number 3, went to the 97K of Cale Drake, who told me after qualifying he really likes this racetrack. I assume he likes it even more, but you were able to set up your teammate Gavin Miller into turn 1 on that late race restart. How were you able to set him up and execute the pass?
Yeah, he started slipping down the front stretch pretty badly, and I just got a really good run going into 1 and 2. He left the door open, and we were able to complete the slider and then run away. So having clean air was really good. Got to lay down a really good few laps there at the end of the heat race. Gives us a lot of confidence going into the main, especially after the rough week we've had. But overall, super grateful for my entire Keith Kunz Motorsports team and the opportunity to be here this evening.
Cale Drake gets the job done in TJ Forge heat race number 3.
That restart, pretty much everything on that one is, remember, he had kind of stumbled over the cushion, lost that ground, the restart, like you said. Caught his teammate slipping there on the restart, was able to go in, throw the slide, and grab the win. And
that was perseverance, if you ever see it in a race, and especially in a 10-lap race, which is a pretty short amount of time when we're talking about being able to make moves and make decisions. But that decisiveness that Cale Drake had over Gavin Miller, and to be able to really capitalize on those mistakes, you have to always be prepared for that, because if you're not, you'll miss an opportunity like that.
And back down to Drake.
Jake Andriotti collected the win in Car IQ heat race number 4. Led the first 7 laps of the feature event last night, and you and I had a good conversation at Bloomington about the development of Four Kings Racing. I know race car drivers, they're not happy unless they're winning, but at this time in the season, are you happy with the direction this team's going so far?
Yeah, definitely. You know, we came a long way from where we started, and, you know, just making gains. You know, we've been putting together parts of the night with hot laps and qualifying last night, heat race at Bloomington, heat race tonight. But, yeah, no, the whole Acro Seal and Metalloid team over there putting in the work, making the car good, and figuring out to my liking and stuff. So yeah, this definitely helped my qualifying effort today. Learning a new track here, and it's pretty cool to get a heat race win at such a historic track as Kokomo. So going into the feature, just looking to get the car balanced a little bit better and to be able to move through the field.
Jake Andreotti tiptoed on the cushion to collect the win in Car IQ Heat Race number 4.
And a testament to him, he didn't take the bait, as there was a few times where Dom had kind of pulled up next to him and, trying to see if he could get him to move his line around, and he didn't. He stayed true to the top. He was able to keep his momentum up.
And that's kind of what we heard Justin Grant talk about at Bloomington the other night, about Jason Pursley being able to kind of trick him into moving up to the top side of the racetrack. Justin Grant, one of the wisest race car drivers you're going to find, and I think, if Justin can be tricked by it, then anybody can, right? And I don't necessarily think that it's certainly not a lack of wisdom. As I said, Justin Grant's probably one of the smartest race car drivers you'll ever meet, and so that's just a testament to how well Jake Andreotti was able to to play his cards there.
And when you're leading, you don't know what the track's doing behind you. You can see what the track's doing, you know what you're feeling in the car, but sometimes there's a line developing you don't realize until they're up next to you and it's too late.
It's impossible to know, and that's the case in any time that you're leading, and that's why you'll find, and I always remember Tyler Courtney saying this during interviews when he was with us at USAC, and he always said he hates leading. He would much rather run second until the white flag flies and then be able to make a pass to the lead, just because it's so hard to know what's happening behind you, and you're kind of just making your best guess and crossing your fingers at some points.
So track prep underway here at Kokomo. Here on the broadcast, we're going to step away for just a moment. Hopefully when we come back, we will be racing in our semi-feature events.
It's time to lay the smackdown at Kokomo for 30 grand. Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts Sprint Car Smackdown 13 is the pinnacle of an action-packed summer in Indiana's Kokomo Speedway. 3 straight nights of high horsepower, high intensity, and high stakes action greet USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Championship competitors on August